Today, I am sitting down with two very, very special guests, Anthony Sorella and Ernesto Gaita. How did this all happen?
I had my ticket platform at the time, X Tickets. So I hit up Anthony. He was doing special events. I said, hey, bro, you got to use my ticket service. Why don't we do these special events together?
I need to be around him and I need to provide value. Hey, you know a web designer? You know a graphic designer? Do you know a videographer? Yeah, talk to this guy. I'll connect you guys in a group chat.
Do you remember the list he had?
I go, dude, we got to start an agency. That was the birth of Neighborhood Creative.
What you guys did, even with the name of it, Neighborhood Creative, you kept the communal aspect.
At the beginning, you always want to look bigger than what you are. And how do you do that? You could do that online.
And this podcast, Money Buys Happiness,
we're giving a platform to people to tell their story. I get a text one day from Kyle saying, hey, bro, I'm landing in Miami tonight and I'm only here for tonight. I leave tomorrow. So if you want to get the pod done, it's got to be tonight. We learned how to be in rooms with people of that stature. Dave Grubman, Patrick Bet-David, Sugar Sean. You got to know how to move around these guys.
What's poppin', everybody? Today I am sitting down with two very, very special guests. I am extremely fired up, ready to go, pumped up, 6-gear pin for this one. I woke up this morning and I had a smile on my face knowing that these boys would bless the studio with their presence today. Mr. Anthony Sorella and Ernesto Gaita from Money Buys Happiness. And I am going to take you guys for a journey with these two gentlemen that I've had the pleasure of growing up with. I've had the pleasure of doing business with, and I've had the pleasure of watching them grow into absolute rock stars that are just crushing it with everything they touch all across the board, from promoting nightclubs downtown on the hottest strip, to starting their own creative company, to getting behind apps and building platforms for the city to plug into for their events, to then being one of the first podcasts in all of Canada, getting signed by a huge platform, the Nelk Boys, then moving on to start their own media network. We're going to take you through the journey over here today, and I'm extremely fired up about it. I think I said that 4 times in this intro, but I truly, truly mean it. And thank you guys for tuning in again. Without further ado, the boys.
What's up,
Let's
baby?
go. Let's go.
Here, baby. Woo! Let's have a chat.
Okay, guys, I'm not going to do 1/10 as good as the job as you did hosting me, okay? And I'm still buzzing off of that episode.
It's
right
crazy
now.
episode. Dude.
Shit popped off,
Yep.
right? I'm still getting DMs. Coach is still getting DMs.
Of course you guys
we're
are.
coming together, and we're feeling better and better and better about what we're doing together. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to start this off by saying thank you very much for that opportunity. Not only were you guys fantastic hosts and had me tell the story from pretty much start to finish in my entrepreneurial career, but it was something that, you know, gave me the attention that I was never given before, right? And that story for me was so special that I didn't even know how special it was, right? I didn't even know the full story myself until you guys asked all the right questions, right? And then even when I'd answer some questions, you guys would go deeper because you knew there was more to it, right? Which was brilliant, right? Because then I'd see it like, whoa. And then they got that out of me because they knew it was there, and I not that I hit it, but I didn't go that deep, right? Yeah. And the way that I've, as many times as I've watched it, you know, and played it back, the way that I looked at that, I was like, yeah, that's my full story, right? And I've now been welcomed onto other podcasts, and there was a crazy amount of requests for me to get on other platforms after I was on your platform. Sick. And that's the story that I've been telling, right?
Beautiful.
And you guys essentially showed me that, right? So I wanted to start this off by saying thank you, right? You know, I had a lot of breakthroughs and I had a lot of realizations, you know, as to, yeah, I got this, you know what I mean? And that was cool. And the past is something for me that I don't frown upon, you know? And especially after that episode, I feel really good about, right? So just wanted to say thank you because it's done so much for my career. It's done so much for my personal brand. And, you know, that's massive in regards to what I'm trying to build and where I'm putting all my efforts. So thank you.
Of course, yeah. Bro. I think because we have a past with you that we kind of know. I mean, even we didn't know the full story. Like we knew 90% of it, but we knew what topics to touch upon and you know, bring to light because we see you now, killer entrepreneur, super energetic all the time, always bringing people up. But we know our audience likes a comeback story. right? So no one wants to hear that you're just at the top and that's how it started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for you to tell, about the hard times and about the slumps that you had, I think that actually helped everyone respect you a lot more for where you are today.
And I think
Yeah,
actually
absolutely, very well said. Yeah.
I think actually that helped us be better hosts, because I think after that episode and once we put it out, listen, like we knew it would do well, but like, bro, it did well, bro.
Yeah,
It went crazy, like,
Yeah.
and our audience loved it, and we kind of had a breakthrough from putting that out, because we were like, hey, again, like, and we were sort of heading this way, but like, these are the kind of conversations that we want to have more of, right? And it's tough because there's not many Nickies or any Nickies, but we got to try to find people in that realm. And it was funny because right here when we were sitting out front waiting for you to come, we're in the lobby, and Ivy at the front, she goes, Nick, we see Nick at Spark as this big leader, and and maybe sometimes you can't fully connect with him. She's like, but after watching the podcast with you guys, she's like, you really like humanized him. Like you made him like, oh, he's just a regular guy too, right? Similar to me, I'm just a regular person. And I was like, fuck, that's the best thing to hear, because that for me tells us we did a good job. Because if we could have someone as successful as you, portrayed as just another regular person, like that's the fucking goal. Because then people can watch it and either feel that they can make a connection with you, let's say the people that work with you, or maybe somebody who's not in the best place in their life can watch it and say, fuck, this guy could get out of it, so could I.
Yeah, fucking right. Which serves for even more inspiration, right? Which is so cool, so well put. Nice words from Ivy Chow too.
Yeah. I mean, we're still getting messages.
Yeah.
The fact that we have 200 episodes out and people are saying that's their favorite episode.
Wow.
And these are
Nice.
people that we know have actually been listening to every episode. These are not just random people. These are fans of ours from years, right? And they're hitting us up. And you know what? Even people, hey, like, can you connect me with Nikki?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where it's like, man, like I said, 200 pods later, we haven't really got a response like that.
Yeah. Heavy.
Which is crazy.
Heavy. It's good.
But I knew what happened.
But listen,
Yeah.
today's about you guys.
Yes,
Never
sir.
mind that, right? So I wanted to get as deep with you guys, right? And have it be that you guys are able to tell your story, because I find it super inspirational. And someone like myself who's always, chomping on that bit and going for it, and 6-gear pins, all these things I like to say, right? I look up to what you guys are doing. I see whatever it is you got yourselves involved in is always cutting edge, is always, the first to the line, is always introducing it to our Toronto market, right? And for me, that's inspirational, because you guys are always reinventing yourselves. You're always coming to the table with something that's hot in you. And it's not easy to be the first at the line. It's not, because you're second guessing yourself. You're banging your head up against the wall. Sometimes you're too early for the rest. And even though you might be right and you're hitting all the nails on the head, and what it is you're bringing to the table is gold, not everyone's ready for it, right? So that could be scary. And you guys have done that from when you were in nightlife, all up until the way you guys started your creative company. Now, MBH, the podcast, you guys were the first ones in a big way to come out, with a podcast and go hard with it. Get signed by a massive network, arguably some of the biggest names in all of Canada, maybe even North America, arguably, right? Then break off on your own, start your own media hub, right? But through all this, right, still managing the companies and still, making it so that you're partaking in the activities on the operational side of things with all of your businesses collectively, right? Building your personal brands. Like there's so much that you guys have done, right? And I know no matter which way you twist it or turn it, you won't be able to tell me anything else. Like, you guys are going at it every day, all day. And this is like, your dream, and you're going to get it, right? But there's no way you would have been able to accomplish what you've been able to accomplish in that period of time if you weren't going that hard all the time, right? And I know from firsthand experience, and I want to pass it on to you guys, but I just want everyone to understand how hardcore these guys are, that like we'll get working on something, right? And it's a pilot project, or it's something that we're trying to do a proof of concept for, or a venture we're trying to come together on. And you guys will whip out like conceptuals and branding and logo and business plans, and you'll go deep with things. And some of these things never materialize, right? Because then, you know, we figure out, oh, we got a portfolio of companies here that we need to tend to and prioritize. So you put it back on the shelf. But like when you hit it, the amount of stuff that you guys are able to turn around in a week, 2-3 weeks is like, it takes people years, right?
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning, right? And I want to start it off where you guys met and hooked up, right? And have it be that we take the crowd and the audience for a journey, because on top of all that great stuff, it's special to see a partnership as solid as your partnership for as long as you've been partners. That's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy to have that, you know, close of a connection. And never have I seen you guys butt heads. Never have I seen you guys give one another a look that wasn't the coolest look. Never have I seen you guys go against each other saying, and you know what? That's fucking tough, man. So to make this partnership work, to create as many magical things as you have, to bring things to the city that are revolutionary and starting trends together, and to do it all on as busy as a schedule as you guys have had. Take us through that journey. Where did Anthony and Ernesto meet? And how did this all happen?
I can start.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I was in nightlife. I was probably, when was this? Maybe 6-7 years ago?
It's got to be 7 or 8 years ago.
So 7 or 8 years ago. I was in nightlife. I was smashing it in nightlife. I was doing special events as well. And Anthony was in nightlife as well. He was also doing special events. By special events, we mean, you know, Sunday brunch, St. Patty's Day, Halloween, stuff like that. And I remember I had my little office at Eglinton and Dufferin.
Yeah.
It's like 300 square feet, right? Crazy.
It's the size of this room, pretty
Literally
much.
the size of this room.
Yeah.
And I had my ticket platform at the time, X Tickets.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get Toronto events to use my platform. It was like an Eventbrite, except I would charge less on the service fee end and then kick back the actual event planner. So they were making money. So I hit up Anthony. He was doing special events. I said, hey, bro, you got to use my ticket service, because it's the best ticket service in Toronto. It's going to be the best in the world. And we're going to kick you back. That's the main part. We're going to kick you back some money, right? So we started
I love the kickback.
The boost.
But yeah, we started working together on that level through the tickets. And then he came by the office a few times. And from there, we kind of decided, you know what, why don't we do these special events together? You have a bit of a younger crowd compared to mine. Mine's a little bit older compared to yours. We could bring everyone together. If I'm doing 1,000 people, you're doing 1,000 people, let's do 2,000 people. Pretty straightforward. Started working together on some events. Got really close through that. And then eventually started promoting together as well.
Yeah.
On the weeklies. And then
both had very, very strong, powerful networks.
Yes.
Likeable guys with lots of friends.
Yes.
But solid friends that had lots of friends as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Played sports in schools. Like you came
Yes.
to the industry with like influence.
And that was the
Both of
plan,
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
right?
But I gotta say, because I gotta give credit where credit's due. I remember going to his office, and again, 300 square feet, like nothing crazy. But at this time, I'm maybe 19, 20 years old. So, I'm looking at this guy, and I'm seeing what he's putting together. And for me, it was so impressive. And I couldn't find anybody in and around my age group that was hustling this hard.
Yeah.
And that was fucking willing to do savage, bro. Was willing to do whatever it fucking took to get the job done. Like, I'm talking like go out and promote till fucking 4 a.m., wake up at 7, back at the office because we're planning this event and we're putting this together. And dude, I was like, I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe. I'm like, yo, there's somebody in this city around my age that has the same mindset as me, that's willing to work as hard as me, that wants it as bad as me. Like, I got to be around this guy as much as possible.
Yeah.
So he's making it sound nice. I bust his balls. Hey, bro, you at the office? Hey, bro, can I come by? Can we work? No. And he'd be like, yeah, come, right? Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's like, okay, this kid's a hustler.
Yeah.
Cool. He has a similar mindset to me. So I think that's where things really started to pick up. And then once we decided to kind of promote together, you have to understand something. If you know Ernesto, you know this already. And if you don't, well, I'm gonna let you know. Like, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you were
100%.
going out on fucking King Street, wherever you were going out in Toronto, you didn't want to. You had to call Ernesto. Like,
100%.
it wasn't like I had my little whatever, but he was the guy.
Yeah.
So
his name and his brand outpowered the venues.
It did.
Like, even if you had the hottest venue, but he wasn't in the hottest venue, it was where he was.
Bro, and
you had to be in the Ernesto Club.
And the way that this guy could literally revive a dying club.
Yeah, 100%.
Was it? I couldn't believe. Like, I remember when we first started, working together, and I was busting his balls to just come work at the office and work. What the fuck was I even doing? I remember that was like Wayward times, and Wayward was like on its last legs. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. They had a great run and they were dying. They brought this guy there. It was like the club just reopened again.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe the pull that this guy had. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't understand how the fuck
Yeah.
does one guy have so many people
Yeah.
that just want to be around him.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm talking like professional athletes had games the next day, not to put anyone on blast, that they just would go to the club. They wouldn't drink, but because they wanted to be around this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck, this is insane, right? So I need to be around him and I need to provide value.
Yeah.
Right? If I want to stick around this guy.
Yeah.
I can't just come around along for the ride, right? And so obviously I was providing value in different ways, right? I'm more of the creative side. So I'd put together a lot of the concepts of things that we wanted to do, and I have these ideas and whatever. And then when we started to say, hey, fuck it, we're together almost every day. We're working on all these parties together. Let's do the weekly promotion together. Like, the way this guy would go to bat for me is insane. Like, for example, like a new venue opened up. They wanted Ernesto. He would bring me to the club with him and say, you only get me if he comes with me. Like, we're a fucking package.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is my fat fee. And you also have to pay him that.
yeah.
Bro.
He always did that for the guys.
And I was
he always
and I'm
rolled
like,
deep,
dude,
and
I'm
everyone
like,
was getting blessed with them.
bro.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, he doesn't have to do this.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
I'm providing value in different ways, but like, bro, this guy's going to bat for me. We've been working together for like a year, maybe. Like, he doesn't owe me nothing.
This guy's the definition of selfless.
Dude,
that's why I fell in
like,
love with
and
him.
and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
Like, to the level, right? And so, dude, he put me like in such a boss position that I don't know if I could have put myself in that position straight up. So it's like, I tell people, dude, I tell my family, I tell my fucking girlfriend, I tell everybody, like, I'm indebted to this guy.
Yeah.
I'll take a bullet for him straight up.
Yeah.
More than some of my family members would, like, because the way, like, it's just the level of how much respect and the selflessness, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make that point because I don't think I've ever said that, and I think that, you know, the way he would always portray it to people, even on other podcasts that we've talked about it, was like, yeah, we were both killing it. It's like, we were, but bro, it was you, like, in that moment, right? But I also think he did that because he believed that there would be a time where, like, maybe my skill set and what I was gonna do would start to, you know, come in harder. Like, I'd have to show up a little bit harder. And he saw that in me, and it's like, you know, when someone has that belief in you, that's when you want to just run. You want to just run, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was a big reason why even today it's such a strong partnership, is because the belief that we had in each other.
Okay.
But more, I would say at the beginning, more for him. And so yeah, then this is where, so we're promoting together. We're doing all these things.
And that's really cool. That's really cool. I tip my hat to you for acknowledging him like that. You know what I mean? I didn't know that that's how it all began, right?
Well, bro, it's like you're sitting here, for example, you're saying
that's
these
fucking
two
cool.
powerhouses that are promoting, and it's
yeah.
like, listen, I had my people and I did my thing.
Yeah.
But bro, when you looked at these events or these the weeklies, like, bro, it was heavily
100,
him.
yeah.
It was heavily
and
him.
he revived one of my clubs, which was Bloke. It was on its last leg. He came in on the Fridays, and the same thing you said he did for Wayward, he did for Bloke Friday. I was like, how the fuck did that just happen? Like
100%.
literally from like no one in the club to like hundreds of people and booths being booked, and shit was popping again.
But then
Do you remember that Friday,
That was
bro?
a blast, yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
But then it's
How do
not
you
like
do
it's
that?
not like he's running around saying, bro, it was me. He
always
there was
blesses the
other
crew.
promoters
Yeah,
there, and it was like, oh, it was a team effort.
Yeah.
Where it's like, meanwhile, he brought 90% of the people.
Yeah.
The other 3, 4, 5 promoters brought the other 10%.
Yeah.
But he would always be like, no, it was us.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
So
always,
that's a very
always
admirable thing, and he's
selfless.
always
Yeah.
like that.
And those boys that he was putting on, there's some of them are still doing some awesome things
Yeah,
down there,
oh,
man. And they
100%.
learn, and I've
him.
listened to the podcast they've been on, and I see the way they move. Still, you can tell like they got a piece of Ernesto.
It was
in
him,
right?
bro.
Like,
It was him.
He taught him. Yeah,
it was him.
Yeah, fuck
and,
yeah. He put guys on.
and so yeah, listen, we're doing the promoting, and things are going good, obviously. But yeah, I've told a story a few times where we'd be in the office and bro, people would just call this guy for anything. Bro, you know a guy who sells tires. Bro, you know a guy who's got couches. Bro, you know a guy, you know a videographer. You know a photographer. You know a web designer. And bro, he always knew somebody.
He was the plug.
He was the plug. But what I started noticing was, and this is where like I think my value really plays, is I notice these little things. So it'd be like, hey, you know a web designer, you know a graphic designer, do you know a videographer, whatever. And bro, I remember it's just like every day he's like, yeah, talk to this guy, bro. I'll connect you guys in a group chat, whatever. And finally I go, bro, like, are you making any money doing this? Like, because bro, you're just sending people left, right, and center. You got to be making like a referral fee or at least something. Because bro, like I've seen you give away maybe $30,000-$40,000 in business just this week.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, bro, I'm just doing it so that I grow the network and people want to, who knows, they want to come up party with me, whatever.
Large, yeah.
I go, and then I go, okay, hold on a second. I go,
Do you
bro,
remember the list he had?
bro, of course.
He'd have everyone's names, the nature of their business,
yes.
the hand. I go, look how dialed this list is. Do you remember? I forget what project we were doing together.
Yeah.
And it was like, bro, pages.
Dialed.
Oh,
We still have
this
those,
guy's
by
got-
the way.
oh,
You know what?
We still have those.
I literally have OCD when it comes to that stuff.
Bro, I was like, this
Because,
is
like,
sector per industry, followers. I go, fuck, this guy knows the whole city.
I have
bro.
OCD when it comes to like meeting someone and not like remembering them.
Yeah,
like I need to remember that
right.
you're my connection somehow.
Yeah.
So like it was happening in such volume that I needed to start getting organized. And if you look now, bro, you're gonna see the list I have now of every.
Oh, you kept on it?
I keep everything.
But
Bro.
you gotta see the list. The Google Drive, bro.
I keep everything.
Buddy.
Crazy
You know?
list.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
And
yeah.
and yeah, so then I'm going, bro, what the fuck? Like, you making referral fees? No, I just want them to come out with me, right? I go, okay, you're fucking nuts. I go, dude, that stops like today.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I go, bro, listen. I'm like, that's a whole company right there.
Yeah.
I go, graphic designer, web designer, videographer, photographer, this, that, well,
Yeah.
influencer, whatever. I go, dude, we got to start an agency.
Yeah.
And this is another thing about Ernesto where in our partnership is like, whenever I came with an idea, never questioned it.
Yeah.
It was always like, yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And that was the birth of Neighborhood Creative.
Nice.
I go, dude, we can put this together. And then in classic Ernesto fashion, let's put together a business plan. Now you see how quickly he puts them together.
And bro, 99.99% of people skip through the business plan.
Yeah.
And it's the most important thing because it
100%.
keeps the founders on the
Yes.
same page
Yes.
and understanding what the vision is, what the goals are, right? And his stuff is dialed, bro.
So
Like,
now he puts them together in fucking 3 hours.
literally.
But that one took us about 8-9 months maybe.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Neighborhood because we had so many different ideas and we really wanted to dial it in. So we spent 8-9 months still promoting
Yeah.
and sort of building this business plan in the back end that no one really knew what we were doing. The
Yeah.
only people that knew what we were doing is me, him, and our partner, his sister, Anna Maria. So we're putting this together, dude, long nights, fucking Adderall, fucking
Yeah.
just building this thing out. Crazy.
Lots.
And lots of Adderall. And
It is what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
You know, what are you
It
gonna
is
do?
what it is, bro.
And,
I would have still been making that business plan in my basement if I didn't have any Addy, bro.
and you know, eventually we got to the end, and really funny, you know, along the way we had these what you call them the verticals that we were building out
Yeah.
for the business. And we had ideas to bring certain people to sort of manage certain verticals of the business, and nobody wanted to come in with us, bro. Nobody believed in what we were bringing to the table. And by the way, it's not like we were saying, hey, you got to buy into this company.
No.
We're like, hey, bro, we're going to give you 15% of Neighborhood Creative, and you're going to handle this. and nobody believed
Some
it.
of them, they didn't even have to do nothing. Just give us clients. I think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
And nobody wanted to fucking partner with us. We couldn't believe it. So that was like the first chip on the shoulder.
If everyone ended up taking the equity that we offered them, we would have only owned like 50% of neighborhood right now.
Yeah, which we own 100. So
Crazy.
it's like, take
Thank
that
God.
in.
But again, that was
Beautiful.
like a mistake we made at the beginning, and that was because as much as we did believe in ourselves, we were a little bit scared.
Yeah, that's where it comes
You know,
from.
we're like,
I've
oh,
done that many.
you
a
know,
times.
when you're
You
like,
give away
okay,
the farm because you're like,
Maybe
I
if we
can't
get
do this
someone
on
else
my
on,
own.
like we're for sure we're gonna be good when we launch,
Yeah,
or we'll for
yeah.
sure get enough clients.
That's
and like,
right.
so we were looking for like a guarantee and if anyone's listening to this with a new business or starting a new business, you don't need those guarantees when you start.
Yeah.
Just start.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where we almost made a mistake of bringing someone
Yeah.
on. Thank God it never happened.
Yeah.
Thank God no one believed in us at that time.
Right.
Right? So we
So
literally,
we tried.
literally.
We fucking tried. And no, like,
Yeah.
like looking back now, like I almost want to say, fuck you, you know, but at the same time, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you, yeah.
it made our life so much easier moving forward.
But we
So-
had the belief, bro. When we were sitting down with these people, we had full belief that we would be successful, right? So
Yeah,
when
yeah,
someone
yeah.
says to you that they don't want to be part of it, you almost start to think,
Get offended.
what, they don't. That's kind of like, well, you don't believe what
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna do.
Yep.
So then
Yeah.
it gave us some more fire, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, no one believes us.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Right.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
it always helps us in the long run because it gives us this shift in people's perspective about us, right?
Right.
Which gives us more of an audience, more attention, because when you start in a way where no one believes in you and then all of a sudden everyone believes in you,
Right.
I like that way more.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm way more about
cooler
that side.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 and
Way
that's
cooler.
yeah, and that's kind of where it was. So then
and
we
and
said,
the like what you guys did too, right? Like, there's a lot of guys that transition from the promotion piece, okay, and got into the marketing or the advertisement or the creative. But what you guys did, even with the name of it, Neighborhood Creative, was you said, okay, you kept the communal aspect.
Yes.
Big, right? So the brilliance of you tying together his network, right? Being able to now monetize it,
Yes.
right? But then have the promotional and influence aspect attached to it.
Yeah.
That had never been done
No.
before,
Well,
right?
that's- well,
it
that's
was
why
like,
it
let's
was-
do flyers and videos
Yes.
and manage social media accounts. You guys brought the fucking neighborhood together
Yes.
through a creative agency
Yes.
and still kept on the promotion arm.
Yes.
It was brilliant. You
Yeah.
did
well,
it
that's
different.
and that was the thing. So we said, okay, if we're gonna build this thing,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to build it off the back of our current network. Those
Yeah.
are going to be our first clients,
Yes.
right? So understanding that, yes, we both had networks, but his was massive in comparison to mine. It was like, okay, cool. Let's make the branding something that everyone can get involved in. So we're not like fucking Spro Media where it's like, oh, you can only work with fucking coffee companies
Yeah.
or this, or we can only do club flyers. Let's make it neighborhood, like where we can work with restaurants, nightclubs, the guy who sells tires, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was a really big part of the business plan.
Yeah.
What was that aspect that you're bringing, that you're saying? So. So we pretty much said, okay, cool, that's cool. No one believes in us. Great, fuck you guys. We're gonna do it anyways. And once we got turned down a few times, okay, so we said, okay, fuck it. We're not offering anybody anything.
Yeah.
Let's just move forward and figure it out. And we said, okay, cool. We obviously understand that leaving nightlife or trying to transition your personal brand out of nightlife is going to be tough because everyone just sees you as the slimy promoter, right? You're a nice guy, whatever, but you're the slimy promoter. Like, why am I going to trust you to market my company?
Yeah.
Right. So we said, okay, we got to obviously come out very professional. So the branding was great, awesome. We did that, and the execution was good. But the second piece was, and this is what we believed, and it ended up working out for us, was we need a space. Like, so if we're gonna invite people,
Yeah.
like I want to run your social media, well, come to my office.
Yeah. Huge.
So we spent a couple months looking at spots. We ended up finding our spot at 688 Richmond Street. It was a little room, maybe it was about 1,000 square feet, a little bit less, but it had high ceilings. It was a cool loft vibe. I remember we walked in to go see it, and the second we walked in the room,
You're like, yeah.
we turned to the realtor. We
Yeah.
said, buddy,
Yeah.
lock it in. He's like,
Yeah.
I found it on Kijiji.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't even on like MLS yet. And I go, and he goes, I'm putting this on MLS tomorrow. I said, well, don't. What do you want? We'll write the check today. Just don't fucking put it nowhere, bro.
We'll
It's
write the
ours.
check today. We have no money. Yeah, we'll write the check today, bro.
We'll write the check today. We did that straight
but
up.
you know, like when something's right and it's gonna
Yeah.
work and it aligns, like
Yeah.
that feeling hits right away. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and
let's
we'd
go,
seen
right?
like maybe 10 spots by now.
Yeah.
And as soon as we walked into that one, we knew.
We're like,
You're
no, this is the
away.
one.
Yeah, no, and it's the coolest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best feeling.
It's the coolest feeling. Like it's got that raw industrial.
Yep. Yeah.
It's got that like
see the CN Tower,
I
we're
feel
so close.
cozy, but I
Yep.
don't have to take my shoes
There
off.
you go.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 20 background settings that could
yes.
be like, yeah, we could do like 90 photo shoots
Yep.
in here and still look like we're in
Yeah.
a different but the same place, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And that was the biggest thing.
yeah, you guys nailed it with that.
It
And
wor-
you're downtown in the core.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and it was, so
Which-
it had everything, right? And then it was, okay, cool. We need to put this thing together. Okay, awesome. So we locked that in. Thank God. Shout out Corollas. We still work with him till this day. He was the realtor we found off Kijiji. Like, we didn't even go with a realtor. He was just listing it there, whatever. So he locked it in for us. It was great. And we locked that spot in. And then we went to work. We pulled together all the money we pretty much had. I think it was like a combined maybe 25,000 between
Nice.
me and him.
Yeah.
And we bought all the furniture,
Beautiful.
spruce it up, make it look nice. And then it was like, okay, cool. We have this office now. We're paying like $4,500 a month. in
No, what do
rent.
we do?
What do we do?
gotta
This business
work.
plan, like we gotta get to work.
Nice.
So what we did was
love that.
we did the promoting on the weekend.
Yeah.
But so we opened the company, and now instead of like me and him getting separate checks for the promoting, we said, okay, guys, now you're getting an invoice from this company,
Yeah.
neighborhood, so just pay it to that. And they're like, okay, whatever. The clubs didn't care, right? Didn't make a difference. And we basically were using all that money to pay rent.
Nice.
So now me and this guy are living off of like fumes.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Sure,
put all our money into like
$4,500.
that's it. We
Yeah,
put all our
yeah,
money
yeah.
into like all our savings into kind of building the space out.
That's so badass.
Then
I
all,
like
all of the
this.
money we're
Stress.
making on a monthly fucking
it's
basis.
the fucking best. That's the grind.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was the
Sorry.
grind, bro.
Yeah.
And
There were some nights I remember there was like, we had our weekly parties. I think it was Friday regular, Saturday arcane.
yeah.
And there'd be some weekends where I'm like, bro, I can't go out tonight. Tonight I can't,
Yeah.
bro. I'm
Yeah.
ruined, dude. And he's like, bro, are we gonna pay rent this month? I'm like,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Give me
Yeah,
a bottle,
yeah,
bro. Give me
yeah,
a fucking
yeah,
bottle.
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the part people don't see, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
it wasn't easy, bro. That was really tough. But I think what we've always done is something that you do too is you put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you get
Yeah.
the pressure.
Ready, fire, aim. they
Then you're
call
like,
it,
oh,
right?
now I have
Fire,
to
and then,
move.
Okay, let's figure this
Now
out.
I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
move, right?
yeah,
So we
yeah.
were like in full throttle. I mean, you have to remember, we're going out on the weekends, chugging tequila, putting it on our stories. We're up till 4 or 5 a.m. And then the next morning, we have Zoom calls with potential clients.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then we had to start changing things up with the way we were doing it. We started going harder with the personal brands and the content, right? So trying to showcase more of a marketing side to our content.
Yeah, and you guys were hands on. Like Ant was self-taught on the graphic design
Yeah.
piece. I remember his
Yeah.
first flyer being the boat party.
Yeah,
remember?
of course.
I remember, and it was like, whoa, this guy's got some talent.
Of
It's pretty
course,
dope.
of course.
He had his own look, right? And then I remember the evolvement of it, but he was
Well-
hands on. So you guys weren't trying to bring on experts. You were
No.
like, fuck it, we're getting
So-
into this and we're doing it ourselves.
the
at
socials-
first.
We,
Yeah,
didn't, we
yeah.
didn't have the
Which
loot.
was-
No, we had no money.
That's
We didn't
what
have the
I'm-
money,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying, bro. You guys
No.
taught yourselves as you were paying this rent,
Yeah.
promoting, operating on fumes. You taught yourselves how to deliver after you'd make a
product.
sale
Yes. Yeah.
for a client or an event. Like
Yeah,
that's a
correct.
fucking
So we had
grind,
we had
bro.
social media.
I love it.
We had social
Yeah.
media management, which I was doing all the accounts.
Yeah.
So I had 2 phones running like 6 socials on each one for our clients.
Right,
I was doing
right.
the community management. Anything graphic design, branding, he was doing.
Yeah.
On his own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything website, my sister was building out.
Yeah.
Anything PR, I was doing myself.
Yeah.
Right. So the core services we had were all done by ourselves at the beginning.
Wow. Yeah.
And like
yeah.
for example, like social media, like okay, what are we gonna do for the client? Then we just made a recipe of what we were doing for our own personals
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
okay, now do this.
Yeah.
So everything we do, we've done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not
you
doing
were
something
hands-on, yeah.
out of the norm. Everything we do for clients has been proven. Whether it's him doing the branding, like I said, or me doing the social media, the same way I run the socials 5 years ago is the same way our team's running it now.
Yeah, and you were like hyperactive on the socials, like
Crazy.
commenting back.
I was going crazy.
One of the first guys,
I was going
one of the
insane.
first crew
Yeah.
to bring engagement groups to the city too.
I was going
right?
insane.
Yeah, like that was fucking
Yeah, yeah, I was
brilliant.
going-
There's
anyway-
a lot of them that are going on right now, but let's not
Yeah.
forget where that stemmed from.
Of course.
And I'm not saying it officially, but you were the one that introduced me to it and
Yeah.
made me understand that, wow, that's how you jack up comments and likes from a hyper local community
Bro,
course.
and
gotta-
not have
you got to think about this,
Like-
how ahead of from a social media aspect, how ahead of the game this guy was.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
At a time, well, now you pay for your check mark $14 a month, whatever. I don't even know what it is, 18, $20, whatever
yeah.
it is. Bro, this was 2019. This guy goes, we have to get verified. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry, I'm going to figure it out, but we're going to get verified.
Yeah.
We got to fucking figure this out, bro.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Trust
yeah.
me, we're going to figure this out. And,
That was big. Back in
and
the day,
bro,
blue check. Yeah.
bro,
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
understand.
that was-
And he found a plug, whatever. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah,
too
yeah,
deep into that, but
yeah,
he
yeah.
found the plug to
Yeah.
get the job done. And bro, our cost at the time was probably somewhere between 15 to 20,000 USD. Bro, when I each for
Yeah.
him and for me.
Yeah.
Bro, when I tell you that that's the only amount of money we had in the bank account,
And you fired it.
And we said,
And he
it's
said,
worth
bro-
the check mark.
fired it up, bro.
I said, we're going to make it all
Boom.
back this week. I said, right away. I said, we'll make it back literally right away.
Wow.
Which we ended up.
Yeah.
We did.
We ended up.
This guy's
We
big.
fired.
We made it all back with
We
we fired between I don't know the exact number,
You see cannons, bro? Hey, see why we get along, bro?
buddy. We fired between I don't know if it was
50,000 with the
$30,000 or
conversion.
$40,000 USD. We fired it off to a guy we never met over the internet to get the job done.
Wow.
You gotta think the fucking balls you gotta have to do that, okay?
100%.
But guess
yeah,
what? We get the job done. What a scene it
Oh,
caused.
yeah. Oh,
What
yeah,
a scene
yeah,
it caused,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And again, bro, we had no podcast at this time. So
Yo,
now we're
yo.
just owners of this agency that are verified. People are like, what the fuck, bro? You know? And
I always
amazing.
wanted us to
Yeah,
I
no,
think when
I love
you're
it.
when
crazy,
I
bro,
love it,
insane,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
I think when
Insane.
you're growing your personal brand or your business, you all at the beginning you always want to look bigger than what you are. That's how you're
Yeah.
gonna attract people to
Yep,
you.
yep.
Yeah.
Right? So that was always something we had in mind is like always look bigger than what we actually are.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
try to do that. And how do you do that? You could do that online, right? So we were using every tool possible online to make ourselves look bigger.
But they were writing Forbes articles about me and this guy.
I was on Forbes. I
Entrepreneur.
was fucking.
What the fuck did we do?
I was a promoter.
We didn't
They put me
accomplish
on
nothing.
Forbes. I was a promoter. It's never been done.
Didn't understand.
Right? But here's the thing now. once you see how one piece of that game works, once you see the way people treat you when you have one of those things, a
Yeah.
check mark, you have more followers, you're doing this. Once you see it work, bro, you're gonna dump everything you have into that whole process
Yeah.
because
your value goes up.
well,
Everyone
they just
gawks
trust
at you like
so
you're a
much.
celebrity,
They
or
just
they'll
trust you so much,
yeah,
right?
they'll pay you big
and
money.
I always thought like all this stuff that we were doing 2-3 years ago, I'm like, eventually people are gonna have to do this. They'll have to.
Yeah.
So I was always a big believer in kind of like using these little hacks, these tools to make us look much bigger to the point where any competitor will just think it's impossible to reach us.
Okay, but that's a very forward-thinking mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, and other than the set of balls that it takes, right? There's a little layer and level of brilliance there.
Yeah.
Because again, remember how I started this podcast off by saying you're always 10 steps ahead of the curve, and knowing that, bro, people still aren't on that tip.
Yeah, of
I
course.
talked to you guys about it, being like, holy smokes, when I came out of my shell, the whole world opened up.
Yeah.
Right. And you guys had been doing that for a while, right? But there's still the majority of the people that aren't.
Yeah.
They'll come, right? But for you to realize that early, like that's early, bro. Let's not forget, this is 2024 right now.
Yeah.
We're talking 2019 when you pulled that
it's 5
stunt,
years
bro.
ago.
Yeah.
Imagine how far, we know it because we're in
Yeah.
the States, we're in Florida. We see how
Of course.
far behind we are,
Of
okay,
course.
with this world, right? But on the social media platforms and personal branding stuff. But imagine 5 years ago where we were at. And for
Yeah.
you to make that decision and go balls to the wall
Yeah.
on something like that without anyone really influencing you or helping you make that decision,
No,
because
there was
who was
nobody.
around you that was doing it at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time,
There was
bro?
nobody.
That's how I know you guys are the innovators and that are setting the trend. I'm like, bro, who's rubbing off on them to pull those moves?
Yeah, no
Who's putting that in their ear? You guys weren't in Florida yet.
No.
No.
Okay.
We didn't even know what the hell was going on
That's
there.
what I'm saying,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a level of brilliance that I credit you guys for on that. I'm not
That-
trying to blow smoke up your ass, but
And I
that's what I
appreciate it.
continue to stay mesmerized, bro. Like, bro, I thought I had balls or
Yeah.
pulled balls. You're like, these guys are fucked.
I think-
and they're right. They hit it on
And
the
you know what? I
head.
appreciate that, Nicky.
You know?
I think what
Like, fuck, bro.
what people tend to forget is like you have to continuously look at the reaction of your audience, how they're reacting to the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm doing something for a couple months on socials and I see it working, I'm gonna double down on it, even if no one else is doing it.
Right.
Right. So if I say, okay, I want to build my legitimacy a little bit, I want to show business owners that I know more businesses.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go throughout the day, I'm gonna go meet with businesses, take photos with the owner, and post it on my socials.
Yeah.
Up until the point where 2 months later, everyone thinks I know hundreds of owners.
Correct.
They're like, this guy knows every business.
Yeah.
So now people think I know every business in Toronto because I just posted about it for 6 weeks.
Right.
So what if I did this for 2 years?
Right.
Okay, same thing with everything, like replying back to comments or
Right.
commenting on everyone's posts.
Yeah.
I was doing that for fucking 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Because it worked.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why, right?
Yeah.
If I comment on someone's photo 10 times in a month, when they see my post go out, they're probably going to comment. on
Yeah.
it. Now the person watching and that's not involved is seeing, wow, Ernesto has 150 comments.
Yeah.
All from big business people in Toronto or influencers, this
Yeah.
and that. He must be important. When in the back end,
You're working.
I'm just working.
Yeah.
I'm just showing them love. They show love in return.
Brilliant.
Very with everything
really
though, right?
big picture, long-term mindset.
So here's the
level
thing
of
I want to say
brilliance,
though is
first
because
at it.
is
Good for you,
because
bro.
all these
Good for
crazy
you.
ideas and all these crazy concepts, you know, I have to give Anth a lot of credit because he trusted me
Right.
when I was doing these crazy things.
Right.
And remember, I was at a position where, you know, no one really understood what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
You know, they're like, okay,
Right.
you're a promoter, you go crazy on socials, but I don't get your long game here. Where he kind of saw a longer vision with it.
And then right.
And then, so I'm
he
saying
puts
these things-
himself there in a way. How do I structure this? Build
Yes.
systems and process, and then monetize.
Or if we keep
what
going-
this savage is doing,
Or if we
and
keep
builds
going
the
this
business
way,
around you.
what door would potentially open in
Yeah.
2 years with this direction that we're going, right? So for him, he had a lot of trust in me because you have to remember at the end of the day, I'm going, okay, well, this client now, their social has to be run like this.
Yeah.
Right? And he's saying, okay, fine. That's how it's got to be. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you have to have people that trust you, right? And he trusted the decisions I was making at the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I called him. I said, bro, we need to buy a check mark, 20 G's each.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck. bro, like-
I'm like, bro, that's all the money we have.
I'm like, that's all we have. He's like, you sure? I'm like, bro, if this is the last thing we do, it's the last thing we
Yeah,
do, bro. But
yeah.
we have the check mark anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm like, it's gonna work. I'm like, I see how people react to this shit, right? Now people are, whatever. You have a check mark, you have a check mark. Congrats.
yeah, it doesn't
Sure.
hit the same way.
But at that time, I saw how people were reacting to it. So it's like, okay, if someone treats me like that because I have a check mark, I'll pay for that check mark to get treated like that in the
Yeah,
long run
'cause I'm
by
gonna get the
everyone.
bag. Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
So-
and a check mark meant more 5 years ago than it does now.
Oh, yeah.
There was no
And it's
dollar
what a-
amount you could put on it 5 years ago, you know?
And so yeah, bro.
You were the
we've seen-
shit.
We've seen him
You
do
were the
that,
shit.
or even things where it was like, bro, imagine this. Like imagine in 2019, only 5 years ago, we had to convince people, like businesses, that they should be on social media.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we had to go into restaurants. Like this is we like, bro, and we talked about this off camera. How it's like guys are running Facebook ads, making all these money, drop shipping. We're like the old school. Like we go right to the fucking, like we show up in person.
Let's go.
Like it's a different mentality. And so we had to literally at the beginning of this business go into restaurants, introduce ourselves if they didn't know who we were, and convince them, guys, you don't have a fucking Instagram?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, we don't need it. Okay, you don't need it. That's fine. Don't call me in fucking 2 years. You guys are gonna be way behind.
Yeah.
And a lot of the way that we gain clientele, which I think anybody that's starting a new business is, we did shit for free.
Yeah, I was just going to say that to the
Yeah.
audience. I was going to say to all the young bucks listening in right now, not only did these boys, you know, roll up their sleeves and learn how to do it themselves and don't have a background in those space, but they did a lot of pro bono work. They went around, they knocked on doors and said, I like what you're doing over here. Let me show it to the public. Let me put you on the socials. You guys did photo shoots on your own. I'd see you with the
Yep.
cameras in your hand.
Yeah.
You guys managed the accounts, did the creatives, commented on behalf of the businesses on other businesses, then would log out onto the other accounts they were managing to comment on those businesses. So
Bro.
they'd come. It was a real community
What a
thing. But
spin.
these guys had their sleeves rolled up. Don't think that putting in free work and getting in with the right people and putting in that time is a waste of time or the wrong thing to do. That's how you prove yourself. And remember, there's 1,000,001 people knocking on all these entrepreneurs' doors trying to get business from them. What's going to set you apart? They want to see the work ethic. They want to see that you can get the job done, and they want to see value more than the guy next to you. So that's how you're going to do it.
I'll do you one better. We lost money on some of these clients. Like you said, then it got to a point where we said, okay, cool. We'll do your socials for free 3 months.
Right.
You don't pay us. After 3 months, you like what we did? No problem.
Right.
Okay. Then we started hiring photographers.
Yeah.
1,500, 2,000 for the photo shoot that we'd send them.
Right.
We're not getting paid.
Check that out.
We're losing money now
that
on a
out.
client,
Check that
hoping
out.
that they sign with us.
Check that
But
out.
then this is the forward thinking. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, cool. We show that we work for this. We do the social media for this restaurant. We're going to promote it on our social media. That's going to bring more clients. That was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
In a way that we gained a lot of notoriety as an agency. We were one of the only agencies focusing on our own brand. So Neighborhood actually was building its own brand.
Very true.
Right? So it's like we looked, okay, what are other agencies not doing? Bro, none of them are posting on social media.
Yeah.
So you offer social media as a service, but you
Yeah.
don't even do it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
right?
you
Look at
guys
their
were
website.
fantastic
They
with
offer a
that.
website. Their website sucks. They offer PR. They have no PR themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't
yeah.
make no sense.
Yeah.
Right? You got to practice
Yep.
what you preach.
Yep.
So that's something
100%.
we noticed right off the bat. And to this day, the culture at Neighborhood is number one is always put Neighborhood first.
Yeah.
Even before, I
Yeah,
love all our
smart.
clients. I love all our
So
clients.
smart.
But we come before them too.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the end of the day, we stopped attaching ourselves to, let's say, one client or this external thing or whatever. When the pandemic hit, we lost clients. We said, hey guys, we have to be number one no matter what.
Right.
That's how we continue to get eyes and bring the attention. No matter if we
Yeah.
lose every client, we continue to market ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And we do that to this day.
Yeah.
Well, because clients
Yeah.
come and they go. That's the reality of our business.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Neighborhood's always going to be here.
Yeah.
So if we can find a way to continue to build our brand, we don't care when clients come and go because more come.
Yeah.
So
And
we're
we don't do any sales.
Right.
There's no outbound sales
that's
in
another-
Neighborhood.
Right.
It's just we market ourselves to the point that when you reach out, you're locked in.
Wow.
That's another.
There's
big
no sales.
Thing. That's another big thing.
Wow.
I
That's
wanna
because
bring
that's
up.
who we want, though. Once you hit us up after you've seen our work, you already know what it is.
To this
Love
day.
it.
For me to convince someone to come work with us, I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that, and neither is he.
Man,
you know, because we've
Nice.
worked so hard.
It's like
That's sick.
I'd rather
think
not have a client than to convince the client. Maybe someone listening will think that's stupid. But like I said, because we market ourselves so much, I feel like we don't have to prove anything at this point.
Well, think about it. It's
You
like
know?
So
think about-
imagine that. You
Well,
guys
think
start
about
off.
this.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. But like to his point, to kind of close it off is like, think about this. Like, that's how you build a sustainable business. When your business is solely built off of having to go and chase business, chase sales, the minute you stop, your business is dead.
Done.
Right?
Yeah.
So we built the business in a way where you gotta come to us
Yeah.
because you don't see anybody else.
Yeah.
You're looking for an agency. We're the loudest on social media. You're gonna see us one way or another.
Yeah.
Right? And to this day, like we built a 7-figure business annually with never doing one piece of sales outreach. Crazy,
Hey.
bro. Crazy.
Thumbnail vibes.
But
a lot of thumbnail options
but
on this
on
one.
the
but,
flip side, right? We spent
Yeah.
40 G's US on check marks.
Yeah.
We spent tens of thousands of dollars on PR. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on our own marketing.
Yeah.
Content for Neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's like we did all like stupid things. And this is where it was like his brilliance and where I just said I blindly followed him. It was like, bro, like something as stupid as this. Bro, we need to get nicer cars. I go, what do you mean? He's like, dude, because when now we're building this agency
Yeah.
and we have the check mark and people see us driving these nicer cars, we look like we're doing really well.
Yeah.
And we obviously were to some extent.
Sure.
But again,
Yeah, yeah.
to make yourself look bigger than you are.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Because we said, okay, we can make ourselves look bigger than we are. And we're so confident in the product and the service that we're offering. It's not like it's like fake it till you make it, but then you come work with us
Right.
and we're fucking skeef.
Yeah. You deliver.
Our product sucks. We
You
deliver. So
You
it's like
deliver.
that's how we did our quote unquote sales outreach.
Yeah.
These guys are mint, bro. Fuck, they're killing it. They're doing this. Following's going up. They got this content. They got the check mark. They got nice cars. Fuck, they're traveling.
I love it.
These guys are fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Everything people think doesn't work
We went
really
the other
Really
way, bro.
works.
You know,
Everyone
like-
said go
Yeah.
that way. We went this way.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
works. And that's just the name of the game. Like we said, fuck it. If this is a game, we're going to play this game.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah, 100%.
A nicer car is going to make someone think more of me, highly of me. Sure. Get
Yep.
the car.
Get the car.
We're already
Yeah.
paying for the office. We're paying for this. We're paying
Yeah.
for that. So it's like, okay. And then, you know, you do land clients like a Gymshark, for example, where they don't know it's me, this guy, and my sister.
Yeah.
3 people, bro.
No, dude, if you look at us online, you'd be like, oh, these guys are massive. They probably have 20, 25 people working for them, right? Look at
Yeah.
these guys, 2 Range Rovers. They got a loft office
Blue
downtown
check
Toronto,
marks.
blue check mark. Look at these guys killing it. I want to work with them.
3 people, bro. 3
So
people
that
in an
whole thing
office.
of like, you know, and
I love that.
it's not even so materialistic because I personally like fancy things at the end of the
Yeah.
day. But also another thing that we did is always we wanted to start acting like the bosses we wanted to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Even
a
if
big
it was
thing.
2 years from now, 3 years from
You
now.
got
10
because you guys are big manifestors.
Yes.
I
Right?
remember.
So I said, okay.
Yeah.
and you have to try it out. You have to try things out, right? Where it's like, okay, what's one dream of his or one dream of mine? One of my dreams was to have the car I have today, right? So I said, why don't I get that dream done by the time I'm 28, 29?
Yeah.
See how it feels, and we move on to the next goal. Here, right? That's how we move.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
It's like, what do you want? You wanna drive a Rolls Royce? Okay, get that in the next 2 years. Tell me if that was all the dream that you wanted, and now let's keep moving, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Here's the thing. People work their whole life. They say they have a dream car, for example. They get it when they're 65. They do 3 laps. And they're like, that's what I worked my whole life for?
Yeah.
I want to experience that when I'm younger so I know, you know what, that was sick. But I'm glad I got that out of the way now. I don't give a fuck what I drive now.
I like that.
You know?
I like that.
But again, moving how we want to move in the next 5 years, 10 years, right? So if I said to him, hey, who do we want to be in the next 10 years? Yo, we want to be these bosses. Okay, so how would that boss move? Let's get some fucking nice cars. Let's get a fancy office, right? Let's go to Miami and fucking flex on people, right? Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
All these goals that you have, if you don't see how they feel when you achieve them, what are you doing them for?
But Nick,
yeah,
Nick,
yeah.
you gotta
No,
you gotta
it's
understand on the
badass,
back end,
bro.
okay?
It's badass,
You gotta understand
bro.
on the back end. Anna's spinning, eh? Anna's spinning, bro.
Yeah, my sister's spinning.
Anna's
Yeah.
spinning because she's going. Hold on a second. We're making. I don't know. I'm gonna just make numbers up. Right? I don't know the exact numbers, but you know, the company's making 40 G's a month,
Yeah.
like revenue total.
Yeah.
You know. At this point now, when the cars start to come into play, $6,500 a month's going towards rent. The leases on these whips are like 2 G's each. You know, the insurance. She's like, we're spending everything.
Oh, and again, then I have to have these conversations with my sister, right? Where it's like, Annie, just trust.
You know,
Anna,
I love
just
it.
trust. You know,
Yeah.
So it became a thing where it was like, yeah, like, but then you have to like put the perspective like this: if we're nervous about spending all 40 G's, that means we're never planning to ever make 100.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Well,
Fuck.
I used to say too. I said, well, we used to do our finances every month, and him
fuck,
or
bro.
Anna would come and be like, guys, we gotta spend less money. Like we're spending a lot of money. And I would just look at them both every time and say, that means we gotta make fucking more
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
That's not we gotta spend less.
It's true.
Dude, we've never looked at
Yeah.
a month and said, okay, this month we're spending less.
Yeah.
So we make more profit. No.
Yeah.
We're spending the same or more, and we have
Yeah.
to make more.
That's right.
Because we have an abundant
An
mindset.
abundance. Yeah. Yeah.
We always did.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not even joking. We have 5 G's in the account. We're spending the 5,000.
Yeah.
That's how we were moving.
Yeah.
If it was
yeah.
something we thought would really help us elevate.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure. I love that,
And I
bro.
think we just-
Nobody's doing
Nobody.
that.
Nobody,
Nobody,
and people,
bro.
But here's the thing now. Then people turn around and then they'll come to Anth or me and they'll be like, yo, how did you get there? Or how did you do this so that you're on this pedestal now? Or how'd you do this where all these people know you? It's
Yeah.
all these little things that no one else is going to do.
Yeah.
You spend loot,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Yeah.
the
No,
answer.
Where I'm saying, you
Spend
know
it,
what? Fuck
bro.
my
Gotta
salary.
spend it,
He's
bro.
saying, fuck his salary this month. Let's get Forbes.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
what
what?
we
Don't
were
pay me
doing.
my
Yeah,
salary
yeah,
this
yeah,
month.
yeah.
Let's get Forbes instead, and
All
we'll
day.
we'll eat hot dogs instead this month.
All day,
With peanut
bro.
butter sandwiches.
Yeah, all
but we'll be
day.
on Forbes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That peanut butter sandwich is gonna
the
taste
irony. The irony.
Bro, you have to understand.
But
I love
it's
it.
3-4
Yeah,
years
yeah,
like this
yeah.
where you have to again, all we're doing is we're moving based on the reaction of others.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we ever did.
Yeah.
This is how people are moving when they see us like this. Okay, cool. See that guy how he treated you when you saw you pull up in the Range Rover?
Yeah.
That's why you needed a Range Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how he came to the office and there's 2 Range Rovers?
Yeah.
And he came in and there's me and you? and he signed,
Yeah.
it's because of the Range Rover, bro.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
And then you could gauge the ROI.
There you
When
go.
you could start gauging the ROI and say something like that, then you're just like, yeah, we're fucking doing it right.
Yeah.
It's working.
It,
Yeah.
it was.
Keep it going.
It was
Of
working.
course.
It was
And-
working.
And who
Yeah.
does it? It works on us.
Yeah.
If I'm in Miami and we're going to have a meeting with someone and he pulls up in a Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
I'm already looking at this guy like, I could see myself doing business
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy.
We're gonna hit with him. Yeah, yeah. He
Even
hit.
because
He knows how to hit.
because
He
you
knows
see
how
it
to
two
hit.
ways. You go, okay, A, he's either just got the money to splurge like that, which is okay. That means he's somebody.
Yeah.
Or on the other side, if he spent all his last dollars on getting this Rolls Royce, that guy's got balls.
He's got
So I want to
balls.
work
I
with
wanna
him.
fuck
So
with him.
either way,
You're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
you're sold, right? So
Huge.
But people don't ever get to see that reaction because they never even do one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I'm mentioning the car over and over, but it's that times 1,000 different things.
well, bro, it
Yeah,
was like we
yeah,
traveled to
yeah.
Tulum for a month, all the money in the bank account. Hey Anna, see that? See the 10 G's in the bank account? We're booking an Airbnb for a month in Tulum. We're spending everything. She's like, holy fuck, bro. We're like, yeah, this is what it is, what we're doing, right? And then that's what we'd go and sit there in this beautiful condo in Tulum and eat peanut butter sandwiches every day.
But again,
Right,
people's reaction.
right.
Oh, look at these guys. They're in Tulum now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still working though. I see them still.
Yeah.
I want to be part of what they're doing.
we're just
Yeah.
not showing the peanut
You
butter
know?
sandwiches, but it's okay.
And you have to remember too, like a lot of what we're saying now is stuff that you and Spark do as well.
Yeah.
Where
It's the exact same.
how easy is
Yeah.
it for you to now get a new employee or a team member?
Right.
Easy, bro. Who the fuck doesn't want to be part of Spark?
Yeah.
It's the culture that you guys showcase online.
That's right.
And then they come in person and it matches.
That's right.
And they're like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's all the little things you're doing online, right? God knows how much you fucking spend on marketing.
Yeah.
It's because you see a return.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So it's the exact same thing you have going on here.
100%.
Right?
And you know what? It's so refreshing to hear it from other people's mouths that are doing it the same, because you know how many times I've had this conversation with someone else?
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing
What's
it.
tough?
Right? So it's very reassuring as well, because again, you're banging your head up against the wall. Is this the right move? Are these things that we should be doing? The ROI's there, but would it be there if we stopped what we're
Yes.
doing right now? And
Yeah.
should we seize that engine, right? And that's why this is so refreshing and,
Yeah.
and reassuring for me, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, the fact that you guys have been on that trajectory in a different sector and industry and it's worked just as brilliantly, you know, again, fucking kudos to you guys, right? Tip
Yeah,
my hat
thanks,
to you
bro.
guys. That's awesome.
Listen,
And
if
now,
you see something working, you have to double down on it and you have to go crazy.
so
You have to.
yeah, fuck yeah, 100%. To go to our conversation that we were having yesterday, right?
Right.
And fucking let's press it if there's an ROI there,
Right.
right? But so now you guys have this killer agency. You're taking on big accounts. You got the graphic, the assets, the videos. You're doing, you know, the engagement the way no one else is doing it. You're bringing on big clients like Gymshark
Yeah.
down to your local restaurant, right? And anything in between. You're not sector and industry specific. You'll take on a wide range of businesses and crush it just the same. I've witnessed all this, okay? But your influencer piece, you guys were the first agency that I witnessed take on the influencer piece
Yeah.
and the PR piece and bake that into the creative model as well.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be on the Forbes magazine, you wanted to be on all these other big outlets and media stations. You
Yeah.
guys were the plug,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So brilliant how you built that community, that following, had the whole city watching what you guys were doing, right? Again, this is creative. This is promotion. This is not what you guys are doing now, right? Which is you're building a full media platform
Yeah.
that you're going to spin off, because I've had the pleasure of seeing it, right? You're going to spin off in a million different directions, and it's not biting off more than you could chew with the way that you guys are partnering with people, with the way that you guys are structuring it, with what you're leveraging from what you've built in the past, right? And this podcast, Money Buys Happiness, is what starts it all and what sparks it. So tell me how the fuck, right? You go from promoting to now being a creative agency to starting a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And now being what, in my opinion, is, and a lot of other people's, I'm not just saying that bias because you guys are sitting here right now, one of the fucking best podcasts out there.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, bro.
high up on the charts. in regards to the top podcasts in Canada and top in the charts as well in North America, right?
Yeah.
And getting recognized on a global scale,
Yeah.
right? So like, take us into how that journey started and, you know, the big signing that you guys had with Nelk, and then you breaking away and now doing, you know, this media outlet, right? Because that's there's a whole other fucking world out there.
That was a big... It's funny. It was one of those things that, like, I don't think we've ever experienced it until the podcast came along. But it was one of those things where it was like, you know, started off kind of like as a passion piece and just fuck around with it and do it for fun, and then, you know, it becomes a whole business on its own, right? How many times you've heard that? Look, do it for the love of it, and then make it a business after.
Yeah.
Well, when we started it, we had no idea it would be a business at all. COVID had just hit, like he mentioned. So we have all these big clients, neighborhoods crushing, and then we have nothing. COVID hits. The first budget that everyone cuts is marketing. They're like, bro, I can't even open my restaurant. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not paying you guys. We're like, but bro, you guys have contracts. They're like, yeah, come collect the cash, buddy. Okay, fine. We're done. So we spend a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks. We do a bunch of shrooms. And I always gotta say that because it's the truth. We do a bunch of shrooms.
We didn't do a couple. We did a lot.
In fucking buddy, right around the corner.
Wait. Which is brilliant in its own, because you talk about the Elons, the Zuckerbergs, all these other guys, where they get these ideas from that come up with revolutionary ideas.
They get it from there,
so it's not like this whole, you know, we did it to have fun. Like, we did it to fucking get brilliant again and innovative.
We hit a
roadblock.
Right.
We were stuck.
Right.
We're like, everything was been working for us, and then all of a sudden we're like, what the fuck is this pandemic now?
The rug just pulled,
like, what
from
is
under
this,
your feet.
bro?
Right?
Everything was going so well. Neighborhood smashing. We were still promoting. Doing events. I think we were on our way out. We were trying to find a way out at that point. But everything was going so well, and then all of a sudden switch up. So
everything, bro. We're like, fuck. We gotta like, fucking, you know, change the filter. You know, we gotta think different. Something's happening here, and we gotta change the way we're thinking, because everything that was working so well, like he said, is gone.
Yeah.
So we were almost looking at it and saying, write it off, almost, right? So let's figure out something new. And
went back to construction almost.
Holy. So, bro, right around the corner here.
Ernie with the boots and the skinny lunchbox at the stooge. You wouldn't be wearing that Tama Bahama shirt right now.
That's for sure.
So, dude, a nice fat bag of fucking shrooms. Bro, in Boyd Park. Boyd Park, bro.
In the middle of
right around the corner, Boyd Park.
We're trying to find the answers at Boyd Park.
Imagine that, bro. Dude, just shroomed,
your Range Rovers in the parking lot.
Just shroomed out in Boyd Park, bro, losing our minds, and that really refreshened our heads, and we spent a lot of nights at the office just trying to think, what are we gonna do? Is this pandemic thing gonna be for 2 weeks? Is it gonna be 2 months? Is it 2 years? We don't know.
Yeah.
And at the time, we're going, okay, back to our other thinking where we're saying, well, let's build the brand as an agency. Let's build the agency, but also build the brand alongside of it. We're going and saying, dude, my screen time's gone from 5 hours a day or whatever, 8 hours a day to 14 hours a day. I imagine everyone else is doing the same thing. So we're going,
wow.
These businesses are actually making the wrong decision. Now people are on their phones more than ever. So why would you cut your marketing?
Wow. They should have doubled down.
They should have doubled down, but we go, okay, they're not going to do it, right? We're trying to convince people they're not listening to us. They're like, yeah, whatever, you just want my money, bro. Okay, fine. So let's do it for our personal brands. Let's be on this fucking platform, Instagram, more now than ever. Let's double down on the content, right? Because our idea was, when the world does get back to normal and businesses do open up again, well, if all you saw for the last 3, 4, 5 months, 1 year was these two assholes talking about marketing, bro,
everybody's coming.
You got no choice but to at least hit us up and ask us, how we should reopen the business
Big
from the
move.
marketing
Big
standpoint.
move.
Which is again, it's just a what if. Like
Big
you
move.
don't really know
It's a
for
gamble.
sure if
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
So we're like, okay, dude, you should have seen.
But a pretty calculated
Yes, yes.
decision,
Well,
right?
calculated.
Like you're
It should be
again,
okay. Yeah,
don't not give yourselves the credit.
No,
like,
no,
No, like-
screen time, like who's looking at that?
I know,
You know
I
what I
know.
mean?
No,
Like,
it was
it's
it was
fucking good,
calculated decisions within it, but at the end of the day, no way to calculate the like ROI. It's not like we spent
Yeah,
10,000
right,
and made
right,
that
right,
much.
right,
It was like,
right.
well, we're gonna spend this and see what happens. And now
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
remember, this is a point where, you know, we have the money in the account is stagnant.
Yeah.
Actually, it's depleting because we don't have new clients coming in, and the current clients aren't paying us anymore. They
Yeah.
cut
Still
the
have to pay
contracts.
rent.
We still have to pay rent.
Yeah.
And
Promoting was gone.
promoting's done.
Promoting's
So like
gone.
our bank account is whatever we have, and it's just slowly depleting.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I think I want to say the number was like 30K in the account, maybe
Okay.
35K in the account.
Yeah.
Rent is 4,500, so it's not really
You guys
many
5
months. You got less
You
there.
got 5-6 months.
And
Yeah,
and then we go, okay, well, what's the best way to create as much content as possible, right? And thank God, I gotta thank God for Gary Vee, bro. You need a podcast. You don't have a fucking podcast. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
doing?
yeah. He's hard on that.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
we were watching him a lot at that time, and he's died down a little bit in terms of like have a podcast. So I go to News. I go, bro, let's just start a podcast. Who cares, bro?
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah,
If
yeah.
people watch it, if they don't watch it, but let's do it for the content for social media. So whether people actually watch the long form,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? But if we can, because reels were just coming out at this point,
Okay.
if we can post the little clips and the little gems of us talking about this is what you should be doing for marketing and this is what your business should be doing and blah, blah, blah.
The repurposing.
Again, repurposing the short form, these little gems are going to be the reason why when the world gets back to normal, people are going to come to us for their social media marketing. So what do? Let's launch a podcast. I go, bro, we don't got much left in the account. It's going to cost a lot of money to do this, but let's do it. And
Wow.
he goes, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. And that's where the idea was birthed from. And then Money Buys Happiness was just a brand that I conceptualized because I said, okay, brand, marketing, business, whatever. Okay, I'm trying to think of so many different things. And then I was just thinking, oh, everyone says money doesn't buy happiness, but that's fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
okay, can we create a brand here that's almost a little like controversial? It's going to ruffle some feathers. Because when people were hearing Money Buys Happiness, where the fuck are these guys? And that's not fucking true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, who says that? No, whatever. So I go, okay. So I go, let's do some market research. Let's ask our family, our friends, our boys, our sisters, whatever. And bro, there wasn't one person that told us that's a good name. Everyone
Wow.
said, everybody, I think out of 20 people.
And that's when we knew it was good.
Yeah. 100%.
That's when we
100%.
knew.
Dude, 20,
Wow.
I say about 20 people we asked, and every single person said, do not do that. The worst name ever, bro.
Like, don't do that.
Yeah, like, bro,
Like,
trust
please,
me.
like, please don't.
You guys are gonna look brutal, bro. People are gonna think you guys are fucking losers. We look at each other, we go,
And that's when they took everything out of the bank account and
boom, and shot it at this fucking podcast.
Wow.
So
love
that's
it.
Even
that was
registered
the
the trademark.
Yeah, we registered trademark. So
Ray.
so we went all in with that. And again, it wasn't like we knew for sure what would come out of it. It was like, hey,
Yeah,
we were just
yeah.
like, hey, let's create this content, put it out to the world and see what happens. And we leveraged it, and obviously at the beginning it was very business marketing focused. And we just tackled the network. So we just started getting people within the city, realtors, club owners, restaurant owners, construction company, whatever, anybody that had something and a story to tell, let's just talk to them.
Yeah.
Right. And so that gave us content, but that also, again, to his point earlier, made us look like, how the fuck do these guys know all these people? Right? And are able to get them to sit down. And the coolest thing, like you were saying earlier, we were one of the first in the city. So now we're giving a platform to people to tell their story. People love that. Like, all they want to do is talk
Yeah.
about themselves.
Yeah.
So we're getting these artists, all these different people, and we're giving them a place to tell their story.
Yeah.
So we were creating good content for them.
Yeah.
We were showcasing how we knew all these fucking people.
Yeah.
And we were making the guests so happy.
Yeah.
Because it was like, fuck, these guys spent time, money, and effort to let me tell my
Tell my
story.
story, yeah. Beautiful.
So that was
Yeah.
the initial idea with the podcast. It was never like, bro, blow this thing up, 100,000 subscribers. Never.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in sight.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't even working towards that. It wasn't even a thought,
It was
bro.
still about neighborhood. It was still
about neighborhood. Like,
Yeah, it
use
was
this
a
podcast
B2B initiative.
Yeah,
to let-
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And so it was that for about a year. And obviously, you know, I won't get too political on this podcast, but COVID happened and the way things were being run in our country, we did not agree with at all.
Yeah.
And so we started taking that to the personal. Like,
Yeah.
we were like on our personal grams saying like, guys, what the fuck's going on? We don't agree with this, da da da, blah, 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 whatever our opinions were.
Yeah.
We were putting them out on social media, which was a move that everybody, again, told us don't do.
Yeah.
So again,
So what did we say? We would double down on it.
Wow.
Everyone said, guys, you're saying controversial things on your stories.
don't say this on.
Bro, I'm on my fucking story
Bro,
saying
it was
We were
fucking
going crazy.
ballsy,
We were
man.
doing
when I was
hard.
watching, I
I
was
wouldn't
like,
even-
But you have to
Woo!
remember something like.
but you were the voice for many,
Yeah.
So-
many people, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, yeah, but you're
So-
not gonna get their support.
Usually for us, if everyone's saying don't do it, we're gonna do it.
You're
That's
gonna
when
do
we
it,
know.
yeah.
That's when we know.
Oh, yeah,
Well, think about it. If everyone says no, you're like, okay, so no one's gonna do it then.
yeah.
If we're the ones that do it, we'll stick out right away.
Yeah.
So we're doing this, bro. We're on social media talking about, you know, our beliefs and our opinions about COVID and the way that things were being run in the city and the unfairness to businesses and the forcing of certain things and these fucking stupid masks and you gotta have a fucking piece of paper to get into a we're like, bro, where are we living?
Yeah.
You guys fucking, this is Canada, bro.
Yeah,
We're supposed
yeah.
to be free. I don't give a shit about anything. Like,
Yeah.
those are freedoms you don't take away, right?
Yeah.
And so we're being very vocal online. And you have to remember, this is at a time where the brainwashing from the media was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Bro, we're getting blasted.
Ripped.
Death threats. People saying,
Ripped.
I know where your office is. We're going to come this.
was
Bro,
like, come.
people calling. Bro, people calling. Nick, you got to hear this, bro. People calling public health on us. Bro.
In the middle of a pandemic, bro. A little fisticuffs in the studio.
Bro, to the point where...
There's no more loot. People are threatening to kill us.
Come
We're
scrap me.
scrapping.
we had nothing to lose.
What a
That's
fucking
bro.
shit show.
You have to remember something too, which
Those are weird times.
Weird,
bro.
bro.
we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
opened. We lost every client. We opened the restaurant during the pandemic. You know why we opened it?
This is fucked.
Brewery.
This is
Bro,
fucked.
we
No, no, no,
opened
no.
it so that we could showcase that we had a client, but it was our restaurant.
Bro, we got a
That's what I'm
lease.
saying. We wanted a client so bad that we made our own restaurant to do the social.
You have to
So
understand,
we were like, bro, if
Yeah.
we do this and we show
You
everyone
smashed it, bro.
top 10 restaurants in Toronto on Block Deal within 3 months.
Yeah.
brother, we got a lease. Nick, you know what it takes. You know what it takes.
Yeah,
you got a
bro.
lease. You get all the furniture. You build the interior. You invest and put the team together. Bro, we did all of that to showcase we had a client. How fucking
And then we start getting our
insane.
clients back and we shut down the restaurant.
Literally, literally.
No, but it was also like, and I
Brilliant,
talked to
bro,
Anthony about
brilliant.
this, just to talk about the restaurant quickly, but I said, listen, I said, dude, if we could get this thing open, market this thing to the point it's one of the most popping things in the city, within 6 months, I said, dude, we're proving to ourselves that we can market anything.
Yeah, that was a big piece
So
of
we
it.
opened
That
it,
was a big
wow.
piece.
Ram-
Who fucking does that,
Block
bro?
TO, Taste Toronto, every
That's
food blogger was there.
savage, bro.
Within 3 months,
Bro,
breakfast
Block
television.
TO had us top 10 new restaurants in 2020.
Bro.
Yeah.
We
That's
fucking
wild.
come on.
So we're just like, we just want to
That's
prove that it's
wild,
not even
bro.
about the food. That's what we were trying to show.
It was about the marketing,
It was about the
exactly.
marketing. So now we use that to go to all these other clients, these restaurants that end up using us. Marble, Mademoiselle, the Good Son, all these big restaurants that used us. They used us because they saw what we did with the restaurant we opened.
Yeah.
But bro, think about this now. Think
It
about
was a
this
case
now.
study for us.
You're in COVID, barely any clients for neighborhood, so barely bringing in any revenue. We spend all this money to launch this podcast that we don't even know what the ROI is actually going to be. Open a fucking restaurant. Like, we're lunatics,
Yeah.
bro. Zero sleep. Everyone's
Yeah.
looking at us like our friends or family, like, you guys are fucked. Like, mentally, you guys are fucking looped, bro. And we're like, yeah, we are, bro. Like, how else are you gonna get this done?
Yeah.
So we're doing all of this, and then on top of it, we're being so vocal about going against our government and what they're telling, it's a whirlwind, bro.
I got a restaurant. I got to go cook. I'm over here. Someone's trying to kill me. Someone's DMing me like I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm like, oh, I can't do nothing.
Somebody in the midst of all this, right? Somebody called public health on us.
Someone called public health on our office.
Bro, the door opens. I get a knock on our office
Tell them how
door.
I gave it to this fucking guy.
So, bro, the door opens. two public health officers, masks,
Remember
glasses,
they were going around those public
to
health
our
officers?
office.
Yeah.
Bro, he barges in, doesn't even like say, hi, this is who I am. Public health, walks right past me, brushes me in the shoulder, and he goes, I assume because no one's wearing masks. I don't even give a fuck. I assume everyone here has a mask exemption. Me and this guy look at me and go, who the fuck are you? Because bro, he doesn't say who he is. That we go, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we're public health. We had a call that you guys are doing this and you're doing that and you're hosting a podcast and you're fucking and no one's vaccinated and no one has. So, bro, huh? Me and this guy look at him. We go, buddy, get the fuck out of here right now.
I looked at this guy and said, buddy, you better go fast. Bro. You better go fast,
Get
bro.
the fuck
I
outta
said,
here.
and never come back, dude.
So he
And
goes.
I said, never come back, bro.
So he goes. So the guy goes. So the guy goes. I don't have to. Then me and this guy, we go. What? We stand up, bro.
I'm sitting in my chair. What the fuck you saying, bro? You don't have to go anywhere.
So now, bro.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're
Swear to
face-
God.
we're me and this guy are now face to face. We're like, bro, like I'll fucking knock you out, bro. You understand? So then he's like, okay. He backs off. He goes outside. Me and this guy, we close the door because we have our employees in there, right? Like you want to keep some level of professionalism.
Yeah, of course.
We close the door. We're in the outside with this guy. We go, buddy. You better get the fuck out of here. I don't care who called you. You want to give us a ticket? Give us the ticket and get the fuck out. Like get out the fuck out of our faces. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think the guy couldn't believe the reaction we gave because everyone was so scared of public health at that time.
Yeah.
No one ever confronted these guys like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
thought they
yeah,
were
yeah.
big tough guys. No ticket, nothing. He left, whatever.
Wow.
Me and him walked back into the office, and I think maybe we had like 4 or 5 employees in there at the time. They're looking at us like,
Couple
and me and him go, we can't, be online with this energy, and then we're faced with the actual problem to our faces.
And you back
And
down.
back down.
Yeah.
Because then who are we, right? And if
Yeah.
our team's
You're not
watching this,
integral.
our
Yeah.
team watched this whole thing happen, they're gonna gain respect for us. After
100%.
This. And bro, and they were all just like, wow, like
100%.
fuck, respect, bro.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
you guys been saying online, you guys are actually about that action.
Nice,
So
nice.
we're doing all this, and it's funny again, going crazy online and saying the things we were saying. A lot of people, mentors and people who we looked up to, were saying, guys, stop. You're gonna lose business. Bro, it brought us more business
Yeah.
because people couldn't believe the balls we had on us
Yeah.
to say the things we were saying.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, we agree with you,
Yeah.
but we're scared to get our business shut down or whatever. And so we said, okay, we'll be those guys. And we basically took that and we transitioned what we were saying on our stories and stuff and transitioned it to the podcast. We said, okay, cool, let's start talking about it on the podcast. And we saw a big jump in viewership when we did that.
Yeah.
Because then it was like, okay, we're talking about the tyranny that's going on. And again, it was a big respect thing where people were like, fuck, these two guys, fucking nobodies, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, whatever, saying all the things I want to say.
Yeah.
Guys are messaging us saying, yo, thank you, man. You guys are like really saving my life. Like, my family's not talking to me, or I lost my friends because they don't have the same beliefs. They think
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crazy. And you guys are like a voice of
Fucking
of
right.
hope, you know?
Yeah.
And that gave us a big push. That gave us a push in viewership. And I think that was a big reason and a big thing that Nelk noticed. I think that was one thing. So we had this one guest, 905 Shooter.
Yeah.
He was their old, and now he's back in the mix. Shout out 90, love him. He came on our podcast. It was the first podcast he ever done. So we scouted him. He came on. So it was a mixture of like they had seen what we were doing, like being very vocal and not giving a fuck. And then we had him on, and that kind of, I really think, opened their eyes to who we were and whatever. And so it's growing and the business is going and all these things are kind of happening. But again, not monetizing off of it, like just doing it for the content and whatever. And, to make a long story a little bit shorter, I one day I'm just fucking stoned on my couch on like a Friday night, just fucking relaxing finally, taking like some time to myself. And I just DM'd Kyle. I was like, hey, bro, big fan of Nelk, big fan of what you guys have built. Would love to have you on the podcast. I think it'd be great for the city. Bro, the guy has a couple million followers, like doesn't follow me. I'm not expecting him to even see it, whatever. And I wake up the next day. He responded, hey, bro, yeah, but, whatever, watching you guys, down to come on the podcast. We'll find a time type of thing. And dude, and then from that point, I just was busting his fucking balls. Like, I didn't give a shit. Now that I had access to him through the DMs, I was like, I'm not holding back. I don't care if he thinks I'm annoying. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to make it so that There's no, like, he can't go a day without being like, this fucking guy, like, we have to get this podcast done, or he's gonna bust my balls till the day I'm dead. And so I just was like, he's like, okay. He's like, we'll get it done. And then I knew that they were living in LA. So I was like, hey, bro, we're planning a trip actually out to LA in 2 weeks.
Like we weren't.
No, we weren't, bro. And I'm like, so if we're out there, we should just get it done. And he was like, yeah, listen, bro, we're really busy. Like, we'll do it like when I'm in Toronto. It'll be cool because I want to like do it in your office and whatever. Okay, fine. No problem. And time went on. And I would always, hey, bro, let me know, whatever. And then there was, he put out a tweet. He put a tweet out a couple months later saying like, you know, let us know like what podcasts are popping that we should sign under the Full Send umbrella.
Wow.
And we saw that and we got our fucking, like you'd call them, our soldiers to go under that tweet and just tag MBH like crazy.
Yeah.
So now there's a mixture of like me busting his balls to come on because he gave me the green light that he's down. So I'm busting his balls in the DMs. Now he sees our fucking army tagging hundreds and hundreds of people. Like, how can he not?
Wow.
And so the day after that tweet goes live and our people go crazy, he DMs me. He's like, send me your number. I'm like, okay. I send it to him. I go, oh, this is big, bro. Get the number. We go back and forth. He's like, you guys down to sign? Whatever. You guys down to move to the States? Whatever. We're like, yeah, no problem, bro. Whatever. Like, I'll fucking leave tomorrow. Let me know. And he's like, okay, cool. We're going to draft up a contract for you guys. So this is before he even came on the pod. And bro, so I'm like, okay, give him a couple of days. 1 day goes by, 2, 3, 5, 10 days, nothing. But not getting a contract. Hey bro, let me know about the contract. Let me know. Again, busting his balls. Yeah, I'll let you know, bro, whatever. Nothing. So this was like the end of 2021. So going into 2022, we're like, whatever. Nonetheless, we're still going to keep pushing this podcast. Now we're catching eyes. So we're realizing there's something here beyond just like it being a B2B initiative. So we're like, yo, fuck it. We're going to go to Miami and we're going to do like a season in Miami and try to like expand our network out there and get some big people on because we're noticing there's a buzz there. And so we went out there, we're doing the pod there and it's really helping us grow our viewership and we're building an audience now outside of Toronto. And then we get a call. I get a text one day from Kyle saying, hey, bro, I'm landing in Miami tonight at 9 p.m. and I'm only here for tonight. I leave tomorrow. So if you want to get the pod done, it's got to be tonight.
Wow.
It was like 5 p.m.
So me and this guy, we're doing like a manifestation drive. We would do these drives like every weekend. It was like it was a Wednesday. We'd do these drives where like around Miami, we'd go around Star Island and these 6 spots and go look at these big cribs. And one day that's going to be us, whatever. And dude, we turn the fucking car around. We go back. We try to figure it out. Long story short, we figure it out and we do the pod and it goes so viral, 1.5 million views and our subscribers go up 20, 30,000 in a day and people are like, who the fuck are these guys? Like it's going crazy. And I think he saw the reaction. He's like, yeah, well, okay, let's actually sign you guys now.
Wow.
So we signed that deal and that was the big jump for us, man. That obviously like put us on a different level and then people really started to respect us and understand like, hey, fuck, these guys grinded and here's sort of like, one of hopefully many payoffs.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, bro. We pretty much, it really put us on a different level. We got into rooms with guys that like we would have, guys that we would dream about having on the pod. All of a sudden they were there. We could get them, through Full Send and Kyle and whatever. And yeah, bro, it was a great experience. It taught us a lot. We learned a lot. We learned beyond like being better podcasts and stuff. Like we learned how to be in rooms with people of that stature. Right. The way I'm in a room with you guys right now, it's different than being in a room with Dave Grubman.
Sure.
It's different than being in a room with fucking Patrick Bet-David.
Sure.
It's different than being in a room with fucking, Sugar Sean, MMA champion. Like, you got to know how to move around these guys. And that was the biggest lesson we learned, bro. And, it was a great partnership. Again, we learned a lot. But leading into the end of like, so it was like the way the deal was structured was like, it was an annual deal. And then there was like opportunities to renew the deal.
Yeah.
And for another year and another year and another year, whatever. And about halfway through, we just kind of realized like, hey, listen, it's been great. We learned a lot and we don't want to burn any bridges, but like, we're going to do the opposite of what anybody in our position would do.
Yeah.
We're going to leave.
Right.
And we're going to go off and we're going to do our own thing and we're going to make it work.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking get back down to the basics and build this thing up again the way we know how.
Again, balls.
And like we were saying to you, I was saying to you on our podcast when you came on ours, was like, we knew that the viewership would drop. We knew all these things.
Yeah.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of views on these episodes, going back down to a couple thousand.
Yeah.
That's fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna do that. But again, we're saying, how long are we in this for?
Yeah.
We're trying to make a quick buck off this, or just, or like, are we gonna go the full length and do this maybe forever?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's funny because 2020, end of 2020, early 2021, there was a one conversation that I had with Ernesto that I'll never forget. We're standing outside of the office, and we had just started Price to Sell, and with Matt Campoli, and it sparked this idea in me that I was like, dude, I think we can build like a network of shows.
Yeah.
I don't really know how we're gonna monetize it, and I'm not sure, but I know that, like, imagine like, and this is a time where we're getting maybe 700-800 views, but I'm like, dude, if we could have a bunch of shows that were getting 700-800 views that we weren't the host of, but we just produced and helped run the socials and understanding the back end and getting guests, like, wow, so much, what an audience we could build,
you cast
and
such a wide net.
how much leverage there would be for us, right? And this is early 2021, end of 2020, and so, you know, put it out there into the universe. We didn't act on it right away. It wasn't the right timing. But now coming to the end of our 1-year deal with Nelk, having all the knowledge now, being in the room with other networks and understanding how they operate and the contracts, seeing the back end and what the dollars could look like and all these things, I reignite the conversation. I go, bro, now is the time to activate on it.
Yeah.
You know, this is after a conversation with Patrick Bet-David. I'm like, why is a guy, for example, PBD, why is a guy who just sold his company for $300 million in fucking cash trying to build a network?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But he's seeing value there. He's seeing value there even with that much money.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, this
is
is sort of the stamp of like approval of like, yeah, bro, the idea you had 2 years ago,
that's the one,
is right. You were on the right track.
Yeah.
Again, maybe it was too early.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too early because you couldn't act on it just yet. Like you didn't have the resources to put it together, but now you do.
Sure.
And now you're seeing everyone else, the big players start to jump on it. So jump on it.
Beautiful.
Right?
This is when you came to the realization that you hit the nail on the head. Again, you were too far ahead of your time.
Yeah.
2 years.
And now we had the
you see
resources.
a guy who sells his company for 300 mil.
Yes.
Holy fuck, I had it right the whole time, but now I have the brand.
Yeah.
Now we have the leverage. Now we have the know-how.
So what we did was this. I brought it back to Ernesto. I said, okay, it's time to act on this now. We know our deal's coming to an end. Like we know we're going to walk away and let's go. On the flip side of that, it was like, okay, we understand though it's going to cost a lot of fucking money, like a lot of dough to fucking put this together.
Sure.
And we would have this internal debate of like, do we take money? Like, do we raise money?
I remember watching the podcast that you were talking about, do we bootstrap it again or do we raise money? Do we build it up a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So, bro, but like, okay, like that's a very short version, but these are, you know, months of us having these conversations between me and him.
Sure.
And we generally agree on a lot of things. This was one thing that we couldn't seem to agree on. I was like, dude, we've done enough. We've fucking bootstrapped enough, bro, over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it in a way where it was like, we deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, we fucking deserve.
Like, what can we do? And
That's
now
it.
you give us a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Now watch for
I'm like,
real,
dude, we
right?
deserve it. Like, we deserve the opportunity to build something with a little bit of fucking a reserve and not have to take out of our personal pockets every time to do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so it took some time, but he came around eventually. I remember it was like, I'm driving to the office one morning, it might have been like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and he calls me. He calls me every morning. Calls me, and so I'm not expecting this to be the call anyways. And he goes, okay, bro, let's do it. I'm like, let's do what? He goes, let's take investment. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, fuck, holy fuck, finally. Because at the end of the day, the way
I would have kept going the same way.
the way that we work is like, we won't do anything unless we both agree on it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, sometimes, like, again, sometimes it's like, maybe I don't agree, but I'm gonna run with you, and vice versa. But like, we both really have to say, okay, let's go. And so he finally gave me the go ahead. And you know,
the way I was always looking at it was like, we could be better than what we are right now. without the money.
and get a higher valuation.
There you go, right?
Bring
But-
in a better
but-
strategic partner.
But his
but
point
then-
was always fair.
Yeah.
Because it was always like, well, if we do it now, we can get there faster.
That's right.
Right,
And,
where
and
I
not
was-
have it be that our asses are like this, our
Well, you're
backs are
dying.
against the wall.
We were fucking killing ourselves,
Both very strong
You know,
points
so we would go
that-
back
yeah,
and forth
yeah,
based on
yeah.
that to the point where I was just like, you know what, man. Even I had enough. You know?
We're getting older now.
I'm like,
Eh?
"Stop, bro.
We're getting older
I've
now,
been grinding
bro.
for like
Yeah, yeah.
11 years straight. You know, like I have not stopped. You
Yeah,
know, so I
yeah.
was
Not
like,
for nothing. Not
Yeah.
for nothing. I'm looking around, and again, obviously, as our network was expanding, I'm looking at guys who haven't put in half the work we've put in.
Yeah.
That are getting investment left, right, and center.
Yeah, true.
This company
Yeah.
raised millions.
Yeah.
I go, bro. We don't even need to raise that much.
I know.
Just something to give us a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
So that we can like start acting and activating on our ideas right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Put people at the desk.
And that's it.
Bring resources in.
Yeah.
Slide them in.
house
Again, it's not like this
the-
money's
house
going into
the-
me in his fucking pocket.
Build the infrastructure within 1 year that it would have taken you 3 or 4,
Correct.
right? And at that rate, when you really do the math and you fast forward the time, there's actually a loss that you're taking in some
course,
ways. That
yes.
You could look at it where like, yeah, we could have been making that
Yep.
in that short period of time, but we're making that in this long period of time. And
Correct.
sometimes you miss out on trends or whatnot. Very tough decision to make, but could
course.
definitely see where you guys were having conversations as
Yeah.
that happens all the time with us as well, right?
normal.
And you have
Yeah.
to remember, going back to the beginning of our conversation here, we were talking about how many people we offered neighborhood to at the
Yeah,
beginning,
right.
and that we regretted.
Right, right.
So we were like, I was like always thinking about that. I was
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah,
if we
yeah.
just go 6 more months, we could be in a completely
Yeah,
different
different
situation.
world, yeah.
You know, but I think for this business in particular, with the way that we want to run it, we could get there faster with investment. So we did end up taking some investment.
A very small amount of money.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
very,
nothing
very
nothing
small.
that's going to change our life. It's literally just going to pay for the things we want to do now.
Right.
And you have to remember too, like now we have maybe 4 or 5 shows under the network,
Yeah.
right? And maybe only one of them besides ours makes money. So you have to remember the network is getting funded just from Money Buys Happiness
Right,
podcast.
right.
Just from one podcast.
Yeah.
That's another
It's not
good
fun.
point. that
It's
people
not
don't
really.
know.
It's not like me and him are getting salary, and then it's like
That's your cash cow.
no. If MBH does,
Right now.
you know, 100K one month, that 100K is paying for all the talent and shows and team that we have.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So we're actually trying to use Money Buys Happiness as the vehicle to push all the other shows.
Right.
Hoping that they actually all surpass us.
That's right. And then they don't become a cost and bleed
No,
anymore. They're
profit.
actually contributing.
They're
it.
helping, right?
And listen, that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in that portfolio has that one cash cow
Yes.
that carries the dead weight.
Yes.
But you need that dead weight to start flipping and
course.
becoming active
And sometimes
helping
that cash
carry
cow will
forward.
change too. You'll notice in a couple of years, maybe this is the new cash cow that we have. Now let's center this around all the other businesses that we want to start.
That's right.
And let it go that way. But
Yeah.
you have to remember too, we did the math after I think 200 episodes or maybe 150 episodes. We did the math. We spent around 250,000 on the pod without seeing a return.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Our first sponsor came after like 200 episodes.
Right.
So we already dished out $250,000
Right.
on something that we didn't see any actual return yet.
Yeah.
Until we actually see a return. So think about how long that takes.
Right.
That's for your audience more to like really take in, like stop looking at your podcast after episode 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call me after 100.
Yeah.
And see where you're at.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Again, that perseverance, that pushing forward, that believing in it. And then you guys are smart as well because you made it work for your other businesses. So you've seen ROI on neighborhood. You've seen ROI on content that you were able to repurpose for your personal brands.
Yep.
You've seen ROI on those ends, but we're able to have it be a loss leader for a little bit and justify it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it worked out, and yeah, we basically took that and we ran with it. We took the small little investment just to give us, again, so our asses aren't. like
yeah,
you said,
yeah,
doing this.
exactly.
He's
yeah.
doing like
And it's still
Yeah.
doing this a little
It's like
bit,
a little
but
slower.
and it went a little slower, yeah. And so we went full force with it, and now we're in a phase where we're saying, okay, cool, just understanding, because again, as much as we met other people who are running networks and understanding it, it is still a pretty new space.
Sure.
And so there are a lot of lessons to learn. We're still learning as we go. There's a lot of contracts differ between talent and all these things, and having a talent that's shooting out of LA, because then we got to put together production in LA for them, and so it's all these different things, and then running the merch side of the business and all these things. So
our talent's traveling now, and now we got to get them guests and run their socials, make sure the episodes are going. So it's like what we do for MBH times 7 or 8 now, you know?
So there was that.
Imagine that.
And then where we're currently at right now, obviously we have the shows running. We've built a little bit of an infrastructure now. It's still growing. Obviously, we're still really young. It's funny when I think about this. I feel like the network's been around for a year. It launched October 17th, so it's not even that old. It's very new. The page is already at 10K. When this comes out, it'll be past 10K, but 10K followers, organic, like at MBH TV. Like, to give somebody perspective, I want to give perspective on that account, for example. That's an account that just repurposes other content.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Finds viral videos, we put our fucking watermark on it, and we repost it. That's all it does, okay?
Yeah.
We're paying a fucking salary to one guy, and that's his only job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is to find viral videos. But the guy is Brandon. Shout out Brandon. A fucking beauty. The guy is up at 6 a.m. and he goes to bed at fucking 2 a.m. and all night just finding these viral videos and repurposing them and putting our text on top and going at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are the kind of people that we want to work with, that we want on our team.
Yeah.
Right? So, bro, putting a whole salary to one account.
Yeah.
What somebody might be paying an employee who runs 10 accounts, we're paying a guy to run one.
Yeah.
Right. So again, trying to be forward thinking to say this social media account could monetize on its own, nothing to do with the network.
Yeah.
So we're building all these things out, whatever. And then listen, we've been approached, and this is kind of where we're at right now. So we're building the shows, we're building that platform. We're obviously still working on our own platform and doing new things like these giveaways that we've been collaborating with you on.
Mm-hmm.
What an idea, bro! Leave cash around, hilarious,
Beautiful.
right? People can't even understand it. I can't really, and now we're at a point where, bro, people knocking at our door like crazy, wanting to invest in this project.
Nice.
Because they're just like, now we have a track record.
Yeah.
We did what was it? It was a collective 1 billion views on all platforms.
We did collectively over 1 billion views.
Congratulations.
Across all platforms,
Congratulations,
like talent included.
We didn't even know that. We didn't even know that until we got all the numbers done, and we're like, holy
with
fuck.
our with all our new
Take that
talent,
in, bro.
Yeah,
bro, 1 billion fucking views.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Dude, we did 200 million views on Snapchat alone last year. Snapchat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of
It's
insane.
crazy, right? And
It's
so obviously
loud,
people are
bro.
seeing what
That's
we're doing.
loud.
It's loud,
That's
bro.
loud.
And again, we didn't know this, but as we started getting approached, people wanting to invest in us, we said, okay, we gotta like put some information together. Not that we're gonna actually sell another piece of the company, but let's
find the real value.
Let's understand
here
what
on
it is
on the brand equity.
And bro,
given.
it's funny. I mean, I'll just say the number. I don't really care, but it's funny. Like, so when people started asking us, doing the whole like just the introductory call, they're interested, and we're taking these calls. We don't give a shit. We'll take the call because at least it helps us understand where we're at, right?
Yeah.
And we're going in there, and they're saying, okay, well, what do you guys value the business at? And we're going.
And I look at him. I said, I don't know. What do you think?
What do you think? Having no idea. So I'm going the first few guys. I'm going, 10 million US. Like we're valued. First of all, we're a US dollar company. Like, don't look at us. We're not Canadian, bro. We're USD, by the way. And 10 million. Like, thinking that was a crazy number.
Yeah.
And bro, every single guy, that's fair.
That's fine. You just let me know when you can sit down.
We start going like, what?
We're like, hold on. I said 10. No. We meant 30. I meant 30, bro. That's why I fucked up, bro. I swear to God, something's wrong with my voice. Different words, bro. It's 30, bro.
So,
That's amazing.
And bro, crazy, bro.
30.
So crazy, right? And we're going, okay, that's interesting. And what a feeling that is to be able to, sit in front of guys with big money that want to get involved in what we're doing and putting these numbers out, 10, 20, 30 million dollars. And me and this guy looking and saying, holy fuck, from a show that we started because we got all shroomed out during COVID and had no idea where we were headed to now getting a $30 million valuation. like, oh my God, that's the value of this thing. This is fucking nuts, right? We couldn't believe it, bro.
You guys are large.
We're huge, bro. And now listen, obviously, to put perspective, to put everything into perspective, just because you get a valuation of 30 million, that doesn't mean you got $30 million.
It's if someone's willing to pay it.
It's whatever. It's just what someone's willing to value your company.
Yeah.
And then again, that's also subjective, because you may think it's worth 30, you may think it's worth 10, he may think it's worth 5, right? It's just
Just a lot of people with a portfolio
But bro,
they understand.
regardless, you're large.
no, just to say, right?
You
Just
made
to
it, bro.
say,
Yeah, good for
just to
you.
say. But
and
the thing
fucking
is,
well deserved.
But the thing is, Nikki,
I
like,
love that.
you're chasing the billion, but so are we. Right?
Sure.
And we really feel like MBH TV and this network is going to be our $1 billion play.
Yeah.
Right. Again, when I say PBD's wants to go down the same route after just selling his business for $300 million, he sees $1 billion play there too.
Yeah.
I look at Dave Portnoy and Barstool. Sold the company once for $100 million, sold it again for $500. So collectively sold the company twice for $600 million. Now he owns it again. Why did he take it back again? Because he knows there's an even bigger payout down the line.
Yeah.
Right. So why is Alexandra Cooper from Call Her Daddy? She had Call Her Daddy. That thing's probably making 30, 40, 50 million, maybe 100 million annually, just one show.
Yeah.
Why did she start the Unwell Network? Because everyone's seeing the value, right? Everyone's saying, fuck, if I can get this many views and build a network under what I'm doing, there's huge value, right?
Yeah.
So for us, it's $1 billion play. So as much as 30 million or 15 or 20 million sounds great, it's fucking minuscule in the grand scheme of it. But now we're opening the door for these bigger investments, because we're saying, okay, fuck, if we take investment at $30 million, we take a couple $1 million into the bank account. Again,
Imagine what you could do with that for operating capital.
That's the big piece, right? So then, for anyone listening, okay, let's put a number out there. Let's say we sold 10% of the company at a $30 million valuation, $3 million in the bank account. We're not taking none of that.
Yeah.
That's going all back into signing bigger talent,
Right.
building out the infrastructure even
Right.
more, maybe grabbing a studio in Miami, like whatever the plans may be, right?
Yeah.
Our number one thing, bro, for fucking time we've been waiting to do this is hire a real CEO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us focus on what we do best.
Yeah.
And work alongside a real CEO to run operations.
Love it.
So these are all the things that we're working on, and we understand have to come down there, and they're coming down the line. But it's a whole different world. And what we noticed, and bro, it's funny, like, just to give you an example, bro, like we sat down with a couple of potential investors in Miami. We had a dinner with like 5 guys who were all interested, right? As a team, like as a group, they want to come in type of thing. They all want to write checks. And going into it, we've never done this before. So we don't know what the fuck to expect, right? We're trying to look all professional, whatever. Bro, like, we're walking in. It's a bunch of like Chads, like Bay Street buds who fucking just have loot, okay?
Yeah,
Capital markets guys. And bro, like, we're expecting to have to go in there and talk about like the numbers. And these guys don't give a fuck about the numbers, bro. They're just like, dude, the clout you guys have and what you guys are building, and the views and we're dying, bro. We're leaving these conversations. We're laughing. We're like, holy fuck, bro. That did not go the way we thought, but in a good way.
That's amazing.
Like, we couldn't believe that this was the route the conversation was going, right?
That's amazing.
And they just want to shoot the shit, bro. They just want to shoot the shit with
Well,
us.
it's a lot of guys too. A lot of people that have been interested are guys
I love
with
that.
Hilarious.
guys with
Yeah,
huge
'cause you-
portfolios.
yeah.
They have 20, 30 businesses.
Yeah.
And they can actually use a media network to support all their brands.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to give you guys credit. You guys are hardworking. You're proven. You're cool dudes. You know what's up. You could shoot the shit at a table like that with the best of them.
Yeah.
You know how to move around the A-plus celebrities and figures in the world. These are all assets of yours that people say, I'm betting on the right horse, irrelevant of where the media network is right now and where they want it to go. These guys are the drivers.
Yeah.
And oh, fuck yeah, they know how to drive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
realized.
Yeah,
And
that's what we realized.
that's the value,
Yeah.
right? Because you guys are employers, okay? You're business owners. You have been for many years now, okay? How hard is it to find someone that's solid where you're just like, bro,
Very hard.
what cloth did you get cut from?
Very
Where have you been my whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give you whatever it is you need because we're doing this
Yeah.
together, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and then it's 2 of you guys together,
Yeah.
right? And then you're in a market where people got it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
No, we realized
it's the
that,
perfect
bro.
storm.
Yeah.
right?
It was something
And
that we
it's the
didn't-
right business plan and network and media. You're there, like it's all aligned now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
give yourselves the credit.
No, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
It was something that we didn't understand, but now we're understanding is these guys want to pay to play for us.
Yes.
It's not about money buys happiness.
That's
and It's not
right.
about
That's
the
right.
business plan.
Because
They don't give a fuck, bro.
check it out. Check it out. They'll take the same 100,000 that you guys have since October 17th, right? And they'll put a couple Johns at a desk, and they'll probably get 10K followers on Instagram, and they'll probably have 3-4 people on salaries and start a decent, and they'll probably do well with the branding aspect if they sub it out to the right age, but they don't have you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll probably hit a bunch of other people up that want to run podcasts under the network, and people will say, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll probably fish out the same talent that you because they got this, bro.
Yeah.
But who's driving it?
Yeah.
Who's going to
Exactly.
drive this fucking ship
Yeah.
Yeah.
to $1 billion?
Yeah.
Those two guys are going to drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give it to them, right? Even if it's overvalued right now,
Yeah.
give it to them because we're getting value
Yeah.
because we know it's going.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Right?
funny. It's funny. It's
Especially
a world.
if we give them the ammunition,
Of course.
bro.
It's a world we didn't understand. It was a world that
Right.
we've never been a part of, and now that we've indulged ourselves a little bit in it, it's been fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And now we realize that they don't give a. Truthfully, they don't give a fuck about the business. They're like, yeah, these are the guys.
That's right.
I'll place the bet on these
That's
guys.
right.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so it's been cool, and that's kind of where the story now that brings us to present day. So we're just building this thing out and trying to go nuts, bro, and that's it. And bring talent and work with guys like you. We have like so many things that like.
Nikki, where's the
fucking
contract,
go,
Nikki?
eh?
Where's the contract?
I was gonna ask.
Guys, some big news coming soon.
Yes,
Nikki.
yeah,
Finally
yeah.
gonna do something massive. A few things actually, not
Yeah,
just one thing.
yeah.
So I'm pumped for that, and I just want to shout out our team.
Yeah.
Natasha, Anna, Jay, Dean, Delphin.
Yeah.
Yo, without them, we wouldn't be able to make the moves we've made because we've left our businesses in the hands of this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our sisters especially, and they got to put up with a lot of bullshit because at the end of the day, we're their boss.
Sure.
And to have
you
your
guys
brother
are
as your
wild.
boss.
You guys are wild bulls in a china shop,
Right, for them-
and to manage that and to make it so
Yeah.
just seamless in the way they communicate, in the way that's professional. There's a whole other side to this,
Of
right?
course.
And they're the complementary piece that
They're rock
makes it all
stars, bro.
possible.
They're rock stars.
Yeah.
And without them, we wouldn't have been able to travel and make these connections and have these realizations these past 2-3 years. They've been working as hard as us, even harder at times because we pretty much left the business in their hands and we said, hey,
right.
go.
Yeah.
We're here for you, but now you got to go.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a lot of pressure for both of them who never ran a business before. And they're both bosses now. So without the people around you, and you know this too,
Yeah.
there's only so much you could do. So thank God we have our squad.
Yeah.
And because finding the right people is very hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And they believe in you as much as you believe in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though the bank account isn't stacked right now, they know you're going to do what you have to do
Yes.
to get it there.
Yes.
And they're going to do what they have to do to get it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about this tale,
Yes.
right? Is that as crazy as the story as it is, as wild as the gambles that it is you guys have taken, as out there as the ideas that you guys have brought into life and
Yeah.
made a reality, the beautiful relationship and synergy within the team that is a family
Yeah.
that are going to get to the finish line together and are
Yeah.
going to high five each other at the top.
That's the plan.
That's what it's all worth. That's
listen,
that's what it's all.
Of course,
fucking-
and man,
when
we keep
right?
that in our
Yeah.
heads at all times. When
Yeah.
when we remember the people that eat off of this business. The
That's
people
right.
that can go to bed at night and have a healthy bank account, pay their bills, while doing something they love. So we keep that close to us, and the fact that it's our family,
Yeah.
is so cool. Sometimes it's hard. We have our tough times. We go back and forth. They're both our older sisters.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy. We're both their
Yeah.
younger
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
But they've been super. They've been incredible with the way they've been managing neighborhood.
No, and they like you said, they believed in us, and
Which is
and,
huge.
and they still do, right? And I know everyone always says, don't work with family, don't work with family. It gets messy. I I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that.
That's
I
just
think,
who we trust.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
When you build something and it's like a baby, right? Like I look at neighborhoods like our first baby. It's like the fucking first child we fucking birthed.
Yeah.
So who else would I give it to?
Yeah.
Like, who else would I let take care of this thing?
Yeah.
Right. Obviously with our supervision and our help and in certain areas, but yeah, they've been crushing it, like he said, and there's been so many figures along the way, people that have done big things for us, whether they know it or not. He named basically all of them. There might be a few that we missed, but it's another thing. It's like you got to have people around you that believe in the vision. Maybe they don't see it fully, but they believe in the fact that you are going to get there.
That's right.
Right? And
That's right.
and that's been the biggest thing for us. So I
Well,
think
the more that you win, when you're saying something that seems like impossible to your team, and then you do it, the next time it's going to be much easier to catch that, catch
To
that
convince
faith,
them.
catch that belief from them.
because
You know,
pulled it off already.
by now, if we go to like our sisters or even our parents at this point, I'm pretty sure, and we say, "Hey, we have this crazy idea we want to do,"
They're down.
They're not going to doubt us.
Yeah,
they're not going to doubt us.
They know you're going to do whatever you have to do
Whatever
to
at this
make it
point.
work.
They said
These
he
guys
did,
don't
he did
give
all this
up.
shit until now. You think he's not going to do that now?
Yeah.
You know?
Which is beautiful, bro.
I love it.
It's at a nice time because we know that feeling when people don't believe in you and they don't give you what you need. And even if it's a nice comment or a sentence or some encouragement, right? How that could help, right? And how it's aided us by putting fuel on the fire to ignite it. But it gets, like we're not getting any younger. And I'm not trying to sound like the old dog here that's walking around with arthritis and all this knowledge for fucking 50 years. But at the end of the day, right, like to fire on all cylinders all the time and have it be that everyone's doubting and everyone doesn't believe. And it's almost just like, fuck, you know what I mean? I think we deserve, I'm talking about you guys, that credit.
Yeah.
I think we deserve that. Get behind us.
Yeah.
Put the work in. Put the hours in, right? Like, do what you got to do on your end to fucking make this happen because you know we're going to drive it there, right?
Yes.
Get it.
Yeah.
Get it going,
And
right? And you're going to get that now.
Of course.
You're going to get a lot of that now.
course.
And then that's what's just going to help. It's going to help fuel the fire in a different way. Not in a way where it puts the chip on the shoulder, right? Which we've all had, right? It's going to help it fuel it because you just got an army behind you that's like, let's go. They're going to lead us into the win.
And I think I think with that being said, you're always going through, if you're trying to consistently level up, you're always going through that cycle of having the non-belief phase.
Yeah.
So like we got signed by Nelk, that's when we got the compliments.
Right.
Oh my God, you guys are smashing it. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Then we didn't renew with Nelk.
Yeah.
Then it was more like, oh, I knew these guys couldn't do it. Or I knew these guys weren't the top shit.
Yeah.
So I actually enjoy going through that cycle.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I need the love and sometimes I need the fire
it brings
from
you
the
back
hate.
down. Yeah,
you know?
yeah, sure.
And plus, when you're always trying to level up, it's like, okay, we did a podcast, smash the pod. What's next? The network. Now you're going to have the doubters again.
Yeah.
If you didn't have any doubters on in the next phase, that means you're not trying to level up. That means you're staying in the same spot. Everyone said congratulations and you stayed in the same spot.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like, okay, now I want to go up against PBD. I want to go up against Full Send. I want to go up against Portnoy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Let's get it, bro.
Now I'm the small guy again.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to get it.
Oh,
bro.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
But
we're not giving up.
Enjoy those phases because you can take inspiration and motivation from both those things. When someone's complimenting you, you can get motivated from it. But when someone's also doubting you, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's goal time.
Like I want to tell Portnoy right now, like he's
we're
done,
coming, bro.
He's done. This is your guy.
I love Portnoy. Yo,
But
he's my guy. I love that guy. What he built. But
they're all done. They're all finished.
And you know what the beautiful thing is too? There's enough market share
for everybody,
so that no one's done. We're using you as a target to fucking level up.
Yep.
But we're gonna coexist in that space together,
course.
and we're gonna get down, and we're gonna do some collaborative work, and they're gonna actually, at some point in time, help us from get to here to there.
They'll have to.
They're like, I gotta
they'll have
help
to.
them,
Yep.
or else.
Right. That's how it goes around.
That's
Yep.
right.
I think
That's right.
to his point, it's like there's like I seen this thing. I don't remember where I saw it on Instagram, but it's like you're climbing the hill, you get to the top, and then you fall a bit, but you don't fall back to where you started.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you climb a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you fall a bit.
Yep.
But again, not back to where you started.
Yeah.
So it's like there's ups and downs, but as long as you put that work in, and when you zoom out, it's been an upwards trajectory.
Yeah.
There's been little falls in between,
Sure.
but there's always the bounce, right?
And that's a beautiful analogy to use, right? again, for all the young entrepreneurs out there, you got to take a couple steps back sometimes to propel 10 steps forward. So don't have it be that you think that, oh my God, I'm starting this off again from the bottom. That's not the case. You really have to have that perspective to stay motivated, because it could get dangerous and go the other way, and one could go into a downward spiral if they're not looking at it like that. So that's a great point that
I
you
think
made.
I've said this before. I think like the reality of it is, it's everything's fucking math. Okay.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is like this: our target's $1 billion, right? We want $1 billion valuation, as do you, right? With this company. At the end of the fucking day, if I just never stop, if I just keep grinding away at my goal every day, 365 for the rest of my life, the odds eventually come in my favor.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a 1% chance that I make that happen.
Yeah.
But if I keep grinding every day, the tables start to turn. Now it becomes 2%, 5%. 10%.
Yeah.
Because so if I just never stop, I never give up.
Yeah.
That's how simple it can be.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's all the mental games and life and everything that happens in between that fucks you up. But the reality is, if you just never stop grinding or chasing whatever your goal is, it will come. But I'm saying, like, truly say it. Like, Nick, if you sit here today and you say, bro, I will have Spark at $1 billion valuation before I die, and you truly work at it every single day until the day you die, you will get there.
You'll get there.
It's just fucking math.
Yeah. Yeah.
So listen, there's gonna be days where you're not fucking firing at 100, you're firing at 80, or you're firing at 10, or you're firing at 1.
Yeah.
Right? But it's that consistency to show up every day and push forward, right? And eventually you'll get to wherever you want to be. But that's a whole mindset thing, right? You got to be fucking tough mentally. And I think that's another thing is like, this entrepreneurship isn't easy, bro. It's not all glitz and glamour. We show the nice shit on social media. You only see what people want you to see.
Yeah.
Right? But it's fucking tough. Especially, I can only imagine, like, you have a family.
Yeah.
You want to give time to your kids, your wife, or even time for yourself. You want to fit the gym in. You want to do, like, bro, it's not easy, dude.
Yeah.
Right? But then you get creative. You start learning how to time block and say, okay, I'm giving this to that and that to that. And so these days are long, bro. These days it's not fun. You think it's all fun. It's all fun and games. Run my own business. No, bro. These are 16, 18-hour days, bro. And everything in between is sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But how bad do you want it, bro?
How
If
bad
we
you
sleep.
want it, man.
Yeah.
And to close this out, I want to say that surrounding myself with you guys, right? And having it be that this energy rubs off on me. This work ethic rubs off on me. This mindset rubs off on me. How bad you want it, you're going to get it every day. That's what keeps me going. You know what I mean? As gentlemen like yourselves. I put up a very, brief summary of it yesterday on Instagram, but that's who I want to be surrounded with, because it's constant reminders that you could do it. Whatever you set your mind to, you could do. Because no matter how badass you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter what your background is, no matter what, anything, right? We all get that imposter syndrome sometimes. We all get those days where you feel deflated. We all feel that, we're not ready for it, or we're not that guy, or we're not that girl. And drown those fucking thoughts out. Surround yourself with absolute weapons and savages that are not going to fucking give up on their dreams and their vision. And you will bring whatever it is you set your mind to alive. And that comes directly from, the Money Buys Happiness boys here that continue to reinvent themselves, continue to bring cutting edge entrepreneurship ideas and businesses to the Canadian market, have expanded south of the border, are recognized on a global scale, and have done anything but what everyone agrees with them they should be doing, and gone full force with it, with a set of balls the size of my fucking head. And I want to tip my hat to you boys for all that, because it ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy, but it is damn possible. And you guys are living proof of that. So talk to the audience. If you guys don't know where to find these guys, which I'd be very surprised.
Guys, check us out on Instagram at Money Buys Happiness, on Snapchat at the MBH Podcast, on TikTok at the MBH Podcast. You can find myself at Ernesto Gaita on all platforms.
Me at Anthony Sorella. on Instagram, pretty much everywhere. We're fucking going fast. So you better jump along for the ride. Look at the shades. You think he's not going fast, this guy?
We're going fucking fast,
We're
baby.
going fast, all right?
Ain't no stopping now.
So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment, okay? We will respond to any comments under this. So just let you guys know, any questions for us, whatever. Obviously, you can shoot us DMs personally to the MBH account, but any comments we see on this YouTube video, whatever, we'll get to it personally.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Nicky.
On What Would It Cost? This
Of
is
course.
definitely another full circle moment with us.
Banger.
And I was looking forward to this. I was excited waking up today. And I was
Nice
like,
shirt. You got the shirt
I
on?
know, of course, brother. Of course. I wear T-shirts all the time
There
at
you go.
home and out, and 5 out of 10 times I'm rocking this.
I love it.
Appreciate
Or the
that,
white
man.
one. I
I
got the
love
white
it.
one. Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said,
Thanks, Nick.
just thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of What Would It Cost? This one was a very, very special one, and I will say it, my favorite. And thank you, boys, for showing up. I know you guys are busy back and forth from Toronto and Miami and doing so many things, and appreciate your
Anything
time
for
today.
Nicky, boys.
Come on.
Anything
come on.
for Nicky.
Come on.
Come on.
That's it.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, man.
Of course.
All love, baby.
Right on.